People that bring it in, it's much more dangerous, it's much more risky, but that's what they're being forced to do. And the thing is, if you don't have a prescription after the 1st of October, there is a fine of up to $222,000 for bringing nicotine through customs.
Hello. What's up, yo? Kevin, the little sneaky bastard, waited until the very last second to show up in the green room. I was going to be by myself for a few minutes there. I was kind of panicking because I'm not nearly as entertaining if I don't have somebody to pick on. So he did show up, though, and he is now in the backstage area. But I'm going to make him sit there for a minute. So, hey, Mark and Mallory and Skip and Tom and Peggy and Yolanda and Helena and Shannon Brown and Bruni, my friend, finally, he's making it on time sort of regularly. Bruni used to be, we had to remind him that we were live and what days. Like it's almost like we don't actually do it the same night and the same time. But anyway, hey, Bruni, what's going on, my friend? This week's been kind of a little interesting. Lots of stuff. Today is the day that the Australian government has decided that anybody that vapes is ill or sick and needs to have a prescription. It's also the day that we found out that Turning Point Brands is suing the hell out of the FDA. We'll talk about that probably more than likely. Yeah, it's going to happen. Judy G, she did speak up today as well about our fun and our antics and our hashtag. What's her favorite word again? It's clusterfuck. So anyway, we're gonna talk about some stuff. So I guess I've made Kevin wait long enough. And it looks like he made it out of jail. Oh, hello, Jean Smith Hyatt. She says that she's never been here before. You're in for some fun. Everybody say hi to Jean. She's in the Facebook chat room. So where's the dumbass?
What do you do?
They took you out of the jail cell and they put you up against the wall.
Yes, it's for my new lineup photo.
So it's time for the firing squad. Is
that's that what it? Well, you think? Well, I used this quite a while back on my Facebook and my Twitter, saying that we were at a brick wall now, and there was like 3 people that liked it, and they understood.
Oh, well.
Yeah. It's a brick wall.
It's wait until you see the human-shaped silhouettes in ash on the brick wall from the nuclear Armageddon. Hey, David Gerlitz is also in the chat room. Hello, David Gerlitz. Did you see today that I did a sort of a throwback video?
Yes.
And I actually had a 15-minute-ish video of David from his last appearance on our show, talking about his time as the Winston man and becoming the first guy to turn against big tobacco and to sort of tell the world and show the world the underhanded antics that they were doing. But then he became the darling, the golden boy of tobacco control, and then he also pulled their pants down and told the world how bad they are. And he's one of us. He's a vapor, and we love him to death. He's getting close to being like 100 years old, isn't he, Kevin?
110.
Yeah.
Older than, I don't think they even had hats or belts when he was born yet.
Well, no, I mean, it was the dinosaurs. They did have dinosaur skin belts. I've seen them in Texas.
Oh, that's what Fred wore. Yeah. In Texas.
Yeah. So Addie's here as well, and everybody.
Judy said something, huh?
No, Judy did. Oh, let's go ahead and have some fun with Judy. So
Where's she?
last week, if you didn't
Judy.
notice, we did do we had some fun with the Amanda Wheeler video. We played the whole thing in all of its seriousness, and then we clipped one of our friends from Inco, Miss Judy G, and she was one of the people that asked questions of Amanda, and I posted it on Twitter last Friday night after, while we were doing the show.
Yeah.
And this is the tweet. We said thanks to Global Tobacco Forum on Nicotine 2021 for showing the world the hashtag clusterfuck that is at FDA Tobacco's regulation of vaping products and its killing of a true tobacco harm reduction miracle. A special shout out to the lovely Judy G and Amanda Wheeler, because this was actually after Amanda. So let's go ahead and play Miss Judy G's video appearance. I'll make sure. Yep, there's sound.
I'm dying to see what America's going to do to this. I'll use my favorite word again: clusterfuck, 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 clusterfuck. I'm dying.
So that was last Friday. We created this video, and I have been told that our special limited edition clusterfuck vape bands are in production.
Woo!
They will be glowy in the darky, I believe. They have some glow in the dark, and I'm sure that Kassar, or whoever we give the money to, or Kevin for bail money for David, will enjoy having that advocacy fundraiser. But anyway, so this was the original tweet last Friday. So here it is a week later, and John Fell actually tagged Judy, and he said immortalized. So she responded, this is Judy G. She says, hey ho, I had some might feel a tad optimistically set my sights on a nude triptych in the National Portrait Gallery. Nevertheless, a column in the Times plus a blue lived here house plaque in perpetuity seemed achievable. Clusterfuck has exceeded my wildest expectations.
That's right.
Then I replied, I said, I haven't painted nude since art school. Don't tempt me to get artistic. And she said, trust me, nothing to tempt you with. Edward Munch would think twice. And then I said, well, there is such a thing as creative license.
That's right.
And then I have this wonderful little gift here saying how lovely and beautiful and stunning and all that stuff. And then, oh, stop it. She says, oh, stop it.
That woman.
So Judy G has indeed spoken.
Yep.
And Twitter is one of those places where Judy is, and we are currently at this very moment broadcasting live to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We are titling the show tonight "The Cure for Smoking," because
Twitter.
Obviously vaping is the cure for smoking. I'm quite confident in the fact that we have saved millions of smokers all across the globe with vapor technology, regardless of what some assholes in public health have been saying. It looks like this week, Congressman Raja Kutramutri,
that's my boy,
has repeatedly said on Twitter and in articles this week that there is no proof, not a single person has ever quit smoking with vaping technology.
Nope, you don't exist.
So it is quite sad to me because I didn't realize I was still smoking cigarettes, Kevin.
You don't exist.
No, he's just saying that I'm still smoking cigarettes.
So you don't exist because you're over there. Oh wait, you're over there.
This doesn't look like a combustible cigarette, Kevin.
No.
It absolutely does not, and
neither does that.
There's no fire, so there's no smoke. But yes, Raja says that nobody's ever quit smoking
not one
with
of you.
vaping technology.
Not the lot of you.
Not one person has ever done it. Not you, not me, not Addie, not Mallory, not Bruni, not Shannon. I don't know Jeannie, or is it Jean? Jeanne? Is that Jean or Jeannie? I'm not sure. Please assist me, Kevin.
We are the figment of our own magazine.
Yes, we are figments of our own imagination, according to David Gerlitz.
Jean.
I was thinking Jean too.
Yeah.
Whatever. ... She says. Well, okay.
Yeah.
We'll go with Jean.
All right.
Because Jeannie doesn't sound mature, and anyway, so what really cool thing I've found out this week with this with StreamYard, Kevin, is that no, our friend the chocolate addict Chris Big Knowledge Garland has made it into the chat room. One of the really cool things that I found is that I can actually, because we're doing this video project for CAFRA, for during the COP, during the COP, and we have already claimed our time slots, Kevin.
All right.
So
we own
they are ours. We will be broadcasting from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Starting on Sunday. I have a spreadsheet. Let's see. Sunday, November 7th at 9.
Yep. Monday,
9th of November at 9, all the way till Friday, because so there's going to be a Son of Liberty Radio for 6 straight days. Now, I've got themes. I'm going to invite some people, and we're going to have conversations. So it'll be fun. But anyway, as part of the request, they asked us to make little shortcuts of our current library of videos, and I've provided them 30 clips, 30 video or 30 segments from previous shows that are in the 3 to 6 minute range. But while I was doing that, I found some really cool stuff that I didn't even include in there. I kept some for us.
Yeah.
I kept some for us. So you
really
remember
cool
a while back,
really cool people.
Yeah. Do you remember a while back, Steven Sapir from Beantown Vapor was on this show?
Yes. Yeah.
And he told a story. And, to tell you the truth, I was kind of absent-minded.
Yeah.
And I forgot that he had told this amazing little story. And then I tweeted it yesterday, and I premiered it, or I played it on Facebook, and I added it to YouTube. But I'm going to play it real quick. It's not very long, Kevin. It's only like 3 minutes. Let's listen to Steven Sapir. I have to hit a button here.
We started originally as a hardware company back in it was late 09. My vapor story, I'll just tell it really quick. I have 4 daughters, and my daughter at the time said to me, Dad, why do you want to die? She was just a kid. She was 7 or 8 years old. She said, how come you want to die? And I said, I don't want to die. What makes you think Dad wants to die? And she said, well, you smoke, and smoking kills you. So you must want to die. You know that smoking kills you. And it just killed me that was what I was teaching my kid. So she wrote a little book, like an 8-page book, and it had heartbreaking pictures like, here's what it looks like, me walking down the aisle without my dad. Here's what my dad's lungs look like, just horrible, horrible stuff. So at the end of it, there was a little signature where I had to sign and promise not to smoke. And I signed it, and I lied. And I smoked, and I would, put on a hat and gloves and blow it up and wash my hands and hope nobody would catch me. But I just felt shitty about it. And I was a gadget guy, and I started reading about this technology that was, primarily Chinese technology at the time. None of that stuff had really made it stateside, or it was very rare stateside. When people first saw me vaping, they thought I was using drugs. But I started ordering these gadgets from China, and even the Chinese liquid, you couldn't get liquid stateside at the time, or at least I wasn't initiated into the vapor world enough to know where to get it. So I started on really cheap Chinese liquid, really cheap Chinese gear. But the thing that blew me away about it was literally the first time I puffed it. As horrible as it tasted, I knew I was never going to smoke again, and I never did. And for a guy that would leave the house at 3 o'clock in the morning for a pack of cigarettes if I had run out, I was a nicotine junkie. I mean, I still am a nicotine addict, but at least it doesn't come with the tar and the ash and the 5,000 chemicals, 88 known carcinogens. But yeah, I would go out in the middle of the night to get them, and it just blew my mind that this one puff of this crazy device that I had gotten overseas, it was like that. And I tried everything: Wellbutrin, patches, gums, hypnosis, cold turkey. Nothing, absolutely nothing worked. I was committed to smoking. But so after that, I said, oh my God, everybody needs to know about this. Everybody needs to know. My grandmother had died due to complications from a few things, one of them being her tobacco addiction. And I just felt like everybody needed to know it. So I started to, buy the devices, give them to friends. And then, it started to spread, and folks asked me, how do I get them? So I just threw up a quick site. I was, I worked in IT and financial services my whole life. So it wasn't really a job. It was just something I was doing to help out some friends. And it turned into a business that I loved.
Imagine that.
Dad, why do you want to die?
Yeah. Hiding, feeling shitty. Yep. That's what David said that.
That is super
sneaking around. Yeah.
Super crazy, sad and powerful. And we've done so many of these damn shows, Kevin. I forget sometimes some of the amazing things that get said on our show.
Yeah.
So, having
that request not by me.
Well, I'm old and you're older, but having that request from CAFRA to put together short videos, I was like, I'm gonna have to listen to some of these old shows. And I've been driving around all week going to appointments and listening to me in the car, which
is not easy. Is it?
And I'm like writing down time stamps and shit so that I can go home and clip together videos. Yeah. So yeah. But the cool thing is once I have all of these clips made up, like I can upload them into my Dropbox, and then all I have to do is get on my phone. I don't have to. I can schedule one on the fly. I can, and it'll immediately upload, even if it's because Twitter you can only do like a 2-minute and 20-second video.
Yeah.
But if it's a 5-minute video, StreamYard, I mean, it doesn't matter how long the video is. StreamYard will put it on there. Just like we do the live show.
Never-ending supply of truth.
So apparently Chris says that there was a small earthquake. He's just experienced a small earthquake in California. Somebody must have dropped a Tootsie Roll.
Somebody's toilet. Oh, my toilet.
That's your toilet. He says, Paul Blumire, I think Kevin's toilet has erupted again.
Damn. So, have you realized why I don't like you yet, since you've had to listen to yourself so much?
What?
What?
No. I love myself. What are you talking about?
Good evening, Patrick. How are you?
I love me long time.
I love me long time. I'm a big fan of me. Chris, did you listen to the Chris show?
Chris has got a show? Not yet, no. You're talking about our show with Chris. Well, because I love Chris so much, but his sound sucks, man.
He's Rico Suave. That's what I think.
Well, I mean, yeah, but we need to get Chris needs to get like a better microphone and a camera.
Yeah, well,
so that we can really see how beautiful he is.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I showed some pictures of him, and he's a pretty handsome young man.
That's right.
Speaking of ugly old men, though, Nick Orlando just showed up.
Oh, feeling better. winning the day.
Did he get through the COVID? Did he have the COVID?
I'm thinking.
I made a joke about Phil having the COVID, and he actually did have it. Like weeks and weeks and weeks ago, he was gone, or from Dimitri's show.
Yeah.
And I said, does he have the COVID? And it turned out he did.
Oh.
So I feel kind of guilty.
Oh.
Kind of. Oh, and since I did the video of the Winston man of our friend David Gerlitz, I did overtweet myself to tag Alex Norcia, even though he's given us the cold shoulder and making excuses for not coming on the show.
Yeah.
I did tag him in a tweet and say he should interview David. He should sit down. Obviously, there is a whole, David is a big segment of, A Billion Lives, and they even have him in You Don't Know Nicotine.
Yes.
So he's like, plus he was a stuntman for several Harrison Ford films. So he's a big time Hollywood guy.
In fact, I'm wearing my shirt and I'm wearing.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing the scallywag. I'm wearing the scallywag today.
See,
I need to get the new. I need to get the Walk the Plank. I haven't ordered the Walk the Plank shirt yet.
I actually was tagged. Anthony tagged me. I can't see it right this second. I put Dave's basic quote that we've shown on the show enough times. It can be seen 1,000 times and nobody cares.
With the script written and how the FDA will regulate. That's not even the most famous of the Gerlitz quotes. The one that I like is the die has been cast. The blah blah blah. That one. I like that one. And then I actually was going to clip the smoking is reserved for the poor, the black, the dumb. That one. I was going to do that one as the intro, but then I said,
right,
maybe not.
Yeah,
maybe not. No, sir. I am a saint. I am on the side of the angels, and I would never be a buccaneer. I'll be a pirate, but I ain't gonna be no buccaneer.
It's all that penance you're doing. That's why
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. So today, did you know, Kevin? Today's sort of like the doomsday for nicotine in Australia.
Yeah.
So there's like
their brick wall.
There's a handful of doctors in Australia that will write prescriptions.
There's a handful. I'm going to correct you. There's a handful of pro-human doctors who will write prescriptions. And
there is I know that Colin Mendelsohn, who is in the intro video tonight, is doing like Zoom consultations to get scripts to people, and things like that. But if you don't have a prescription and they catch you, oh no, Paul has corrected us. He says there's 80 GPs across Australia, 80 for several million vapors. So, if you get caught with nicotine and you don't have a prescription in Australia, it's up to a 222,000 Australian dollar fine.
Cranky old broads in the room. Yeah, you can go to not awake yet. You can go to jail and you can pay money to not smoke.
Up to $222,000 Australian. I mean, I know that's only like $10 US because it is a very nice, what's the word? Conversion. Very nice conversion for American dollar to Aussie dollar, but that's still a lot of money.
So what are you in for? I badmouth the koala bear.
Yes,
what are you in for?
Gene Smith Hyatt is asking, wait, you need a prescription in Australia?
Oh yeah.
You have to have a prescription in Australia to possess liquid nicotine.
Cigarettes
that
are safe.
that would include that, that's e-liquid that has nicotine in it. You have to have a prescription. But and that's today, October 1st. Well, actually, technically it was yesterday because Australia is like ahead of us. They're in the future. So yes, as of October 1, you have to have a prescription to possess nicotine. And if you don't, you can be arrested or fined or whatever. So they have literally turned people who want to save their life into criminals.
Yeah.
And that will be the theme tonight. That's one of the themes tonight is government criminalizing people wanting to save their lives.
Yeah.
So there's a are we using the Victor share screen already, Kevin?
Victor share screen is ready and willing to go.
Is it rubbed? Did you rub it already? Is it appropriately
You want to pre-rub it?
excited?
It's pretty friggin' big.
Okay, it better not be flaccid. Let's see.
All right, so Reed Nuttall, Vape Mayor on Twitter. I was asked today, what service do you provide? I don't know who asked him offhand. I looked them in the eye and said that I provide time to cigarette smokers. So if you just stop there, and you can't see me covering that, but if you just stop there, that's pretty good. But anyway, time with their grandkids, which I think a lot now.
Because you are a granddad.
I'm an old man, yeah.
Yes,
even if they're
old.
25 today, I sell them time when they're 70 and they really need it vape. And
Hashtag
vape. I'm nominating this as Tweet of the Year contender. So as the example, people want to block what Reed has professed. I don't use that word very often, but yeah.
Professed,
yeah. So yeah, they're blocking literally things that are better for people. Proven. So fuck Raja.
Well, Raja's a
fuck his
dumbass.
name is.
And we're going to tell him to go fuck himself a little bit later. But since we're on Australia, I saw this asinine article from The Guardian, which kind of got my dander up because it's...
You have a dander?
I have a dander. Got my dander up. So it says here, Australian vaping law changes. E-cigarette users now need a doctor's prescription. So I'm going to read some of this, and when I get to the part that I really don't like, that I'm kind of pissed off about, I bet you'll be able to stop me. So here we go.
Why would I do that?
Because I want you to. I want to see if you can predict what is going to piss me off. How about that?
All right.
Okay. So new laws aim to curb the use of vapes. That annoys me, but I don't like the word vapes as a verb. Or a noun, excuse me, among young people, but concerns are already being raised about websites aiming to get around them. So then we scroll down. There's a picture of the young lady person vaping. It says here, in a recent 3-week period, a major Western Australian hospital treated a teenager suffering seizures after vaping too much nicotine, a toddler with cardiac issues after drinking e-cigarette liquid, and a death attributed to drinking e-cigarette liquid.
Well, I'm not stopping you there because I haven't seen the whole thing, but I think they're taking liberty on when that death occurred. And
okay, so there has not been one. I've looked through every Australian medical website, the poison control centers and everything that report poisons.
Sure.
The last. Now, I will say that in 2019, and we discussed it on this show when it happened, a toddler in Australia did indeed die from drinking liquid nicotine, not e-liquid, liquid nicotine.
Right.
It's the kind of nicotine that's in the freezer by my foot.
Yeah.
It's the kind of freezer that Jean says that she has some of in her freezer.
Mm-hmm.
It's the kind of nicotine that you have over there in your home, Kevin.
Yes, I do.
Not e-liquid not e-cigarette liquid for one thing. But again, not one reported death of a toddler in Australia, not one poison control report in Australia since 2019.
Was this what was rattling you up?
Yes, because it's a reporter who has interjected hearsay. Will not like provide a source for this. Nope. So when I worked in journalism, we had to have three confirmed sources before we could say something happened.
Standard operating procedures 3 that I've heard. Yes. I couldn't always do that, but
corroboration. You have to have corroboration, and there is no corroboration for this statement. And on Twitter, people are making excuses for it, that they're protecting someone's privacy. Well, you can like the newspaper can report that somebody was poisoned. Right. They don't have to say the name.
Right. And cardiac arrest is questionable as well because there's no link. Yeah, you can say what you want.
Well, nicotine is indeed a cardiac stimulant, Kevin.
It is. That's correct.
I would not be surprised if somebody got too much nicotine, and I'm not talking about vaping nicotine. I'm talking about drinking high quantities of nicotine. Depending on, even a healthy person could have a heart problem. It could cause heart palpitations. It could cause, but I'm talking about pretty high level shit here. I mean, I repeatedly will, drip e-liquid on my finger and taste it to see if I like the flavor. And I vape 12 milligram, and I've never had a heart attack.
And just for the record, we have people from Australia physically in the room.
There's at least 3.
Had this happened, Simon Chimpman would have been.
Oh no! I mean, if it had happened, Paul would have messaged me like that and said, "We're fucked."
Of course. So, no. What is that?
Yes, Bruni says we Aussies are all convicts again. Well, if you're a vapor, you're going to be a convict or bankrupt, one of the two, because they're going to take money. You're going to take $222,000 out of your bank account if you got it, and they'll probably put you in jail. Yeah, you're screwed. So where are they going to transport you to from there? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Because, really, the Aussies are convicts from England.
So
from the UK that were transported.
They're already tainted. So is there really any reason to go on with this trash or is there
no, not really. I just there's some on background here because there's a quote from somebody.
And who in the hell is Emily Banks? I don't even know her either.
You don't know who Emily Banks is? Did you not watch the Australian Senate Select Committee on Tobacco Harm Reduction?
Okay.
So all right. It is cases like these which public health physician Professor Emily Banks hopes will be prevented through new vaping laws, which came into effect on Friday. They mean nicotine-containing vaping products can only be obtained via prescription from a doctor. That is not true.
Another epidemiologist.
So the verbiage here says they mean nicotine-containing vaping products can only be obtained via a prescription from a doctor. No, because you actually have to have the prescription, and then you have to buy it from overseas, because no pharmacy, as far as I know, there is no distribution of nicotine within Australia. You have to purchase it from New Zealand or India or China and import it, and you have to go through importation, and you got your thing. My Aussies will correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the model that I was sold. So yeah, Bruni says $222,000 would be a life sentence if paying off by doing time. So
$5 a week.
Well, they got to bust rocks or something. So research provided by Banks, an epidemiologist with the Australian National University, was instrumental in informing the laws. She's the one that called everybody to quit smoking in Australia via nicotine vaping or anecdotes. Yeah. She's the one that repeatedly called those lovely consumers that testified in the hearing in Australia
Worthless.
Worthless. And no, Gene says Australia must have a pretty powerful cigarette industry influence. See, this is the thing, Kevin. I have to stop for a minute because vapors so much religiously hate big tobacco, which we should. But by far the most anti-vaping conglomerate are big pharma companies. Big pharmaceutical companies lobby. And then we have assholes like Bloomberg who spend somewhere in the area of $1 billion in the last 2 years on anti-vaping campaigns. Big Tobacco owns too many vaping companies now to be anti-vaping. And you probably vape something that you don't know that is actually owned by a big tobacco company.
Well, let's see. Where does nicotine come from?
India and China.
And what is it derived from?
Tobacco leaf.
And who owns most
and
of
stem?
That? And who owns most of that product?
Well, they actually,
So
tobacco companies.
What? What? Get off my lawn.
Oh, well, this is the same redonkulous stupidity that I've that has been regurgitated by every Bloomberg. What did we call them? Bloomberg bastards.
Yep.
We know nicotine is highly addictive, that it is not good for the developing brain, and that non-smokers who use them have 3 times the chance of going on to become regular smokers than those who have not used e-cigarettes. We have information about impacts like seizures and other health issues among some users. It's heartening we finally have evidence-based policy. We have seen over the years increasing illicit use of these products, particularly in schools.
Copy, paste, grunt.
Yeah. Banks collected discarded e-cigarette packaging from around her daughter's high school. Finding the wrapper from one vape packet revealed the product contained the equivalent nicotine of 9 packs of cigarettes.
That's replacing 9 packs of cigarettes. Not.
I want to know a vape product that is not as big as a. I mean, this might be 12 packs of cigarettes.
12 less packs.
one Juul pod, Kevin. One Juul pod is a pack of cigarettes.
But it doesn't equal a pack of cigarettes.
It does equal the amount of nicotine in a pack of cigarettes. In the
wording, yes, it does. But it does not give you all the other crap that the cigarette will.
Oh, Jennifer says that she got her new shirt.
Oh, I thought you were going to get all excited and say she got her new package.
Kevin, I have repeatedly told you not to bring that up again.
And I repeatedly will.
I will block you.
I know. Mute me.
No, she's gonna have to wait now because there are. It's just.
I know. So yeah, tobacco's not the enemy.
Yeah, but again, it's the misinformation within our own crowd. It's people that have never ever appeared at a hearing, who don't do any actual advocacy work, that spread this nonsense that it's big tobacco.
Or new. And I did it too. Believe me. I was one that did.
Point of fact.
Mike's in the room.
Yes, I see that.
Jeffrey's in the room.
Jeffrey. So anyway, this is Emily Banks. I'm not even going to read the rest of this nonsense. But
why didn't you just put a big pile of crap on the screen and then just give us a few sentences?
Well, because then I don't know how to read crap.
Well, you just did. Who's the author?
Oh, this is the medical editor. Look at this 12-year-old girl. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I know that I'm an old man now because I look at adult women and I say, look at this little girl. But yeah, I mean,
Steve, I have a response for that, for those 2 senators. they are not articulate enough, smart enough, or responsible enough to use the laws they have in place to keep those children
If they
from
cared
doing what they're
about
supposed to
kids,
do.
Kevin, if they cared
Implementing.
about kids, they would care about Steven Sapir's little girl who wanted to have a dad.
And Matt's, whose testimony in Maryland, I believe, was stunning. 6 years old, I think.
You know, we've talked about what is the metric, Kevin? How many kids to
18 gazillion.
saving an adult?
There's 6 of us.
If one child uses an e-cigarette,
yeah,
is it okay to kill? Is it okay to kill 480,000 people a year?
That depends on who's
a year.
That depends upon whose numbers you're using, because there's a gazillion kids not smoking with vaping products. It's almost 2 gazillion now, but there's like 6 of us that
wait, shut up.
Actually quit smoking.
Wait, shut up. Am I reading this correctly in the chat room, Kevin?
What?
Everybody's telling Skip happy birthday.
Oh. Can she remember, or is she being reminded, or is she?
Everybody's saying happy birthday.
Adulation? Skip?
Are we supposed to serenade Skip?
Are we supposed to talk slower? How old is she?
I mean, she is a year older, so that means that she's the grumpier.
I know.
Older.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, old cranky broad.
Cranky broad.
Happy
birthday to you.
There we go. Now you've been serenaded. We have had science. We have had guests. What do you want from us?
What else does she want from me?
Man.
So, speaking of Skip, before we go, we already talked about the fact that we're going to do like 6 days of Son of Liberty, 5 days of which will be with the CAFR project. One of those nights, we're going to focus specifically on neurodiversity and nicotine. And we will have Skip on the show because she's one of us weirdos that have neurodiversity issues. And I'm inviting any other vapor that is able to make the time to show up at 9 p.m. Eastern, that we're going to do a panel. We'll have a conversation about nicotine and mental illness, and nicotine and depression, and nicotine and ADHD, and nicotine and autism. So yeah, I want everybody to hit me up in the Twitter DMs, or Kevin in the Twitter DMs. And we're going to hook you up. We're going to, now you have to have a microphone and a camera though. So either on your smartphone or your tablet or your computer. Otherwise it's really hard.
You know, I was in choir as a kid. So
you were queer as a kid? What?
Yeah. So I don't serenade very often. Janice doesn't like my singing. So CAFRA, the Coalition of Asia Pacific Tobacco Harm Reduction Advocates, is on Twitter. Can you imagine they're on Twitter? So now there's the Twitter link to all my friends in the chat.
Now here's the thing about CAFRA, because it says Asia Pacific in there. People forget that New Zealand and Australia and
people too.
Philippines and Japan and Korea and China and India and Pakistan and all it's a huge chunk of the world. It is really. I mean, if you start looking at all of the humans that are part of CAFRA, if you go to their website, you will see the massive amount of people.
I just linked their website
and orgs. I know, it was like we were reading each other's mind there. We do share one brain.
We're like sisters.
Siamese twins that are separated by like 1,000+ miles. It is a huge organization. It covers a lot of the globe. And shit that they do there does have ramifications here.
I like that.
We
word.
talk about the dominoes,
Mhm.
and they test all of the shit that they do here over there first. Yes, I said the Philippines. My wife is from the Philippines. I would never forget the Philippines, Jeffrey. I didn't forget the Philippines, did I? No, I did not. And that is also a good region of the world that Bloomberg has spent billions influencing and pushing an agenda.
Skip, I just got an update for your birthday cake. You're not allowed to light those. You don't have the right permits.
Do they even have that many candles?
Humans, just like you.
We really need to get Jeffrey on the show. I think he's down in like Costa Rica. I don't know what time zone they're in, but we need to have him on the show.
Well,
work on that, Kevin.
Fine.
So not only is bad stuff happening in Australia, all our friends, so the kangaroos and the drop bears are going to have difficulty getting nicotine. But we have issues going on right here in the States. You know that, Kevin?
Yeah, yes, we do.
We're in deep. We got problems.
You got a lot of
I got problems. I got to go to my bookmarks. I have to go to my bookmarks.
You got a lot
So
of idiots.
one of the good things that's not really a problem, though, this is kind of news that happened today. About I don't know noon.
Yeah.
Noon today.
Mhm.
They released the findings from the National Youth Tobacco Survey 2021, which is actually the numbers from 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, this is FDA Tobacco says a report released today from FDA Tobacco and CDC shows more than 2 million U.S. middle and high school students reported currently using e-cigarettes in 2021, with more than 8 in 10 using flavored e-cigarette. So you see what they did there, Kev?
Well, I see a lot of things that they did there. Which part do you want me to direct my anger toward?
More than 2 million U.S.
More than
middle and high school students reported currently using e-cigarettes.
Without ages in between. Yep, keep going.
Without ages in between.
There's more.
Without is this one-time use, ever use? Is this
Yeah.
And then this, so right here where it says more than 8 in 10.
8 in 10.
80% of all children in America are vaping flavors.
I think
that's what that says.
Trillion people, kids. Trillion. That's
trillion. You remember at the beginning of the pandemic where they said that 8,000
a day,
8,000 children a day were getting hooked on nicotine vaping products.
We're at,
and I am not making that number up. It is 8,000. It is 8. That's that is the BS statistic, the BS number that they threw out into the world.
We did
during the beginning of the pandemic when these kids were already locked out of school and stuck at home with their parents.
8,000 a day.
8,000 of them per day.
We ran out of kids in
nicotine addicts.
It was like 3 months or 4 months, and we were out of kids.
No, it wouldn't even take that long. They would all be dead from nicotine in like 4 weeks.
So the part you missed about the beginning of this, because you will scroll, is that
will.
It's not an option. They did not. Those people did not mention that they asked and were answered by more than 2 million alleged brain damaged kids. Because that's what we've been told.
Brain damaged, right?
So how can I trust these answers? They're brain damaged. But it also shows that those children are smart enough, more than 2 million allegedly, not to smoke. They're vaping. So they're smart. There you go.
Mm-hmm. So is this now the time that you want me to scroll?
Oh, for Christ's sake, yeah.
Okay.
if you will.
So this is the one that this is also one that I really.
This is going to take a minute to break this down.
The results of the 2021 National Youth Tobacco Survey cannot be compared to results from previous surveys due to methodological changes.
All right.
This National Youth Tobacco Survey was fully conducted online in a variety of settings due to the COVID-19 pandemic, while previous years studies were conducted in the classrooms.
All right.
So now wait. So we have a guy in the chat room.
We have a guy. We have
a guy in the chat room who was actually part of the group that were at one point that was in charge of proctoring or observing the National Youth Tobacco Survey collection of data in classrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And he says repeatedly in previous talks and interviews with us that kids would make shit up.
No. Patrick.
Now,
you mean
if they'll make shit up in the classroom, you think they won't make shit up at home when nobody's looking?
So, in a variety of settings, some of them were getting their brains checked. I don't know what that means. So,
you checked your brain before.
You
check your brain at the door all the time.
This new. What is it? The NYC
National Youth Tobacco Survey.
I can't see. Was fully conducted online.
Fully.
In a variety of settings. How many settings are there?
Well, they might have had it on this website and that website over there. They might have had links on Facebook to other websites.
All right. Some of them were in nicotine houses.
Where the tick and the talk happen.
Some of them were in nicotine.
I don't know anything about that. So.
Do they have nicotine rehab somewhere? Is that where some of them were?
They do actually have nicotine rehab.
I know they do. I know.
It's like gay conversion camp.
I've had that conversation on Twitter a time or three.
I mean, how did you enjoy your stay at gay conversion camp?
Oh my God. I felt lighter.
So it says highlights from the National Youth Tobacco Survey. In 2021, an estimated 11.3% of high school students and 2.8% of middle school students reported current e-cigarette use. 1 in 4 high school students reported daily use. Now, Kevin.
Current. What? It was 8 out of 10 a minute ago. Now it's 1 in 4.
Exactly.
So then, right. You don't fucking.
So if it's 1 in 4, wouldn't it be 25%, Kevin?
Well, it's tobacco control math. Hashtag
so it says right here 11.3. 11.3 over here, 1 in 4. I can do that math, Kevin. I mean,
I can even do that math, and I am that stupid.
I mean, 1 in 4 is 25%.
Correct. Yeah.
So what the fuck are they talking about, Kevin?
They're talking about their own ass.
Yeah. So, and among current youth users, disposables were the most commonly used e-cigarette devices. Huh.
But they haven't been done. Right, never mind.
So look right here. So they made a pizza pie.
Well, wait a minute, but it said 11.3 and 8 out of 10 and 2.8, but none of those are there. And 1 in 4, there's not a 25. There's not 11%.
Well, no. This is what
I know.
Whatever one of these percentages up here that's not a lie, or if they're both a lie, this is just basically saying the kids that do vape, this is what they used. So 53.7% of them use disposables.
It's a shit pie, is what it is.
And then 28.7 of them used pre-filled or refillable pods or cartridges.
Stop.
So this next one really concerns me, though, Kevin.
Good.
So 8.6% of the kids don't know what they're vaping.
Right. Because they're brain damaged before they actually touch them.
And then 9% are using tanks and mods.
So if it says disposables were the most commonly used, 53% is more common than the other 30 and whatever the fuck it is. I don't even know. So
Yeah.
if you're inundated with 17 different stats in a row, you can say anything you want, like David said. And that's that part of it. Keep going. We're not done.
No. Wait, there's more. So it says FDA continues to take action against those who sell or target e-cigarettes and e-liquids.
No, they don't. Go ahead.
This year, FDA denied over 1 million pre-market applications. No, it was 4.5 million.
Yeah, that's part two.
If they're on the market, they must come off the market and out of the hands of the youths. The youths.
There's laws.
Excuse me. Yes, there's already laws that prevent these products from being in the hands of children.
That's part
and
of
somebody
FDA's description of their job.
And some of them don't even. There's people, I guess, that don't know that it's already illegal for kids to have them.
I guess. I don't know.
So David Forsyth, our very good friend David Forsyth, he's right here. Look.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to actually drill down into the math on these, Kevin.
And I do not know how to do that, and others do, and I am so grateful.
We have friends that have already done it for us.
Oh, and Charles and quite a few others.
So basically, the news of the the fact of the matter is that the actual numbers show that youth vaping is down 60%.
This thread is missing
from last year. There's a lot of context that's missing.
Something's the tweet. I'll find
Which tweet? Your tweet is the next tweet?
No, about the FDA. Hold on. You keep rolling, and I'll find the actual tweet.
Down 60% since the youth vaping fad peaked in 2019. Proving vapes are not addicting millions of kids. Just 11% are vaping at all, and 3% are vaping daily. 1 in 400 kids use open pod systems or open vape systems, excuse me. And those are banned. But teen smoking is going up. Question mark. Good job. And then there's you with a quote from Tom Miller. The most intensive adolescent e-cigarette users are far more likely to also be smokers. They may potentially benefit from e-cigarette use. There is no ethical basis for ignoring public health harm reduction benefits of those under 18. And that is Thomas J. Miller, the Attorney General of Iowa. You should be following him if you're not already following him. And then there's a bunch of other people. Did you find what you were saying was missing, Kevin? Oh, he's gone. Kevin disappeared, folks. I didn't even know I was talking and Kevin disappeared. So, oh, no, he's back. I don't know what he did, but he's back.
I hit the wrong button.
Oh, well.
Hey, Patrick, how are you?
Hi.
I hit the leave studio instead of the share button.
You're not very bright.
I'm not very bright. So I was looking for this tweet here. Now,
which tweet?
It's just as fast as you can say it. I have to preface.
I can't read that shit, dude. You got to go with the white background. It's easier to read.
All right. So
I already read that one.
You read? Oh, no. Okay. I didn't think you did.
I did read that one.
Cannot be compared with the results from the previous surveys.
Yes, I read that just like
now think
4
about
minutes
that.
ago.
All right, so we can't do that.
Is the second tweet.
Fine, I'm not paying attention to you. I don't even like you. If they can do that, because this is separate from another one. If they have the ability to not be compared for these results,
but they're comparing them anyway.
Do you agree? Do you agree or disagree that that's fair to everybody?
That's anecdotal, sir.
There you go. You hook, line, and sinker. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yes. No, I mean,
is it or is it not?
Here, I'll throw it back on here. So this was the first tweet, and then I scrolled down. This is the second tweet.
You're right.
I know.
I know. So previous studies were conducted in the classroom. Does that change the answer? That's where I was going to go with it.
Well, I mean,
the anecdotal.
No,
the anecdotal answer.
I mean, if it is informal survey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like your survey
Mm-hmm.
was done on a,
Wherever you were, right? You phone,
right.
Yeah.
That would be considered anecdotal.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So,
which I didn't like when I was told that, but it is. Now
their
I know better.
national youth tobacco survey conducted online without any proctoring, without any. This would
Prompting.
also be considered anecdotal.
So what is it when they're all in the classroom?
It's still anecdotal.
There you go. That's my point. That's Tell them what
There's no empirical science. There's no it's just people filling in the blank.
You got kids that have been gaslighted for a year. What do they want me to say? Oh, I'll check this one. What do I want to say? I'll check that one. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
But our friends all over the interwebs have been what's the word? Well, I don't want to say ripping, but yes, ripping the National Youth Tobacco Survey of this year up. Let me see. Clive, our friend Clive, said some really wonderful things. Clive is a very smart guy.
He's way smarter than me and you.
Definitely.
You got it.
I'm scrolling.
All right.
I'm scrolling. So, I did have a little bit of an exchange with Clive this week, Kevin.
Yeah. He liked one of my tweets once.
So he tweeted, "I'm trying to improve my prospects in public health. Any jobs going at CDC?" And he's reading Daryl Huff's "How to Lie with Statistics" in the picture. So then I remembered that last year, I actually had tweeted. So I said, here, I picked up a cheap copy of that at the UCSF garage sale. It's stamped property of Stanton Glanz on the inside cover, and it's inscribed to my best friend and business partner, Love Matt Myers. And then I said, and that's the truth from Tobacco Free Kids.
That's exactly right.
But then I actually remembered that I had tweeted that same book last year. I said, no, this is how I really got it. And it was last year. And this is from December of 2020. When Professor Glanz wasn't looking, I went through his briefcase and found his handbook. I think with his retirement and being put out to pasture, we need to make sure other vape prohibitionists and anti-THR ideologues don't use his roadmap. And it was a different cover for Daryl Huff's How to Lie. But it was funny that both of us had
and I believe
this book.
If I could be wrong, I thought Charles had given us that title to somebody. I thought had.
I don't know.
So
I don't know. I've got a copy of it here somewhere in the massive library. But Clive actually hearted my comment.
It's a good feeling.
Yes, it is. You get all warm and tingly inside when Clive likes one of your tweets.
He actually quoted one of my blogs quite a while back, or quoted something on the blog or something. I don't know.
You know how to write?
No, not really. But all the what did I say? Trillion? Is it what is it now?
I don't know.
Trigillion, gazillion times 3. Smoking went down. I'm assuming again. I didn't even go into this.
No.
Yet.
So, there was a question mark there. I don't know. I haven't read the whole thing, dude. It's
okay. No,
but anyway, Clive says it looks like CDC and FDA will announce a huge fall in U.S. youth vaping. Oh, sorry, no, that is merely what the data will show if you look hard. The agencies will announce an official continuation of the moral panic about flavors and conceal the trend in smoking.
Mm-hmm. So stop there for a second.
Okay.
With statistics and with the federal government, neither of us know exactly where we should aim our little mouse pad and then click to find these numbers. So they give you what we already described as 7 different ways to Sunday, the 11%, the 25%, all these crazy numbers to confuse the public generally.
Yeah.
And then you go, well, fuck it, because I don't care. There's nine out of 10 are vaping now. There's like 1% that's not. This is bad. And that's the gaslighting part. The pissing off part is the part that I can't go straight to a link and go, where's the smoking part? Where's the drinking part? Where's the whatever section I'm interested in part?
Why are you talking about parts? I don't want to know about your parts, man.
I saw Paul and Tic Tacs and stuff. So that's what Clive is saying.
Yes.
They will inundate you with these numbers, but they don't tell you what the truth actually is.
So these are...
Clive will.
Clive's going to show us the truth. So he says, here's the youth vaping trend that you will not see presented by FDA Tobacco or CDC. The youth vaping epidemic, whatever it was, is basically over. Meanwhile, it still forms the foundational rationale for FDA's destruction of the vaping industry. This is one of 6. So here's a little chart. And this is the percentage of students using e-cigarettes in the past 30 days. That's one time in the last 30 days. So in 2011, maybe to a million, maybe 1.5%, right? We're going by percentiles. So up to here by 2013, it's close to 5%. Then in 2014, it jumps to like 13.5%, then maybe 16%, and then down in 2016 to 11%, then 12%,
right,
and skyrocket in 2019 to like 27%.
2018 is when they did their anecdotal 300 people thought it was a great idea to use epidemic, and
and then from 2019 to 2021, it's down here to about 11%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so neat? that's well, it's not neat. I mean, I don't think kids need to be vaping or using tobacco at all, but I did. Or here's 2. It says, in their defense, FDA CDC state estimates from the 2021 National Youth Tobacco Survey should not be compared with previous National Youth Tobacco Survey waves that are primarily conducted at school campuses. Sorry, I've done that, and you will have to decide what is the most likely reason for the trend.
Yeah.
So then here we go on tweet.
Here's some
tweet
more.
3 of 6. Here's a different style of chart. This is a bar chart. So you'll see literally, my estimates based on the little jaggy line is pretty close to what they were. So I said 11. So it's 11.3%. So at the highest, it was 27.5% of kids had used an e-cigarette once in the last 30 days.
30.
So now,
or they saw one, or they
this is
they saw one.
This is look, Kevin. This is 11.3% of
Back
kids.
to 2017
have used it once, but if I go back to the thing, it says currently.
Mm-hmm.
So once in 30 days is currently.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how they're? I mean,
that's what they're. Well, it's tobacco control math. Hashtag tobacco control math. You stole my thunder. Keep going. Keep going.
I stole your thunder?
Yeah.
Oh, so or if the point really needs to be spelled out, it all kicked off with the 2018 figures, which now we're back to in 2016 levels. So again, the same little jaggy line.
Yep.
So right here in 2018, at about 19% or so, moral panic grips the United States. And then the next year it jumps up to 27.5%. And then today's announcement's right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
But it's skyrocketing, Patrick. You can see the trend.
Tom says, what's the population for that city? Kids. Middle school and high school kids.
Yeah, there are no adults there.
This is all children's.
Yeah.
The children's. So Americans are so badly served by these agencies. CDC is worse than the tobacco industry ever was with biasing information. FDA is busy with using the national vaping epidemic as its pretext to destroy thousands of good businesses serving adults and reducing smoking. And then, obviously, 6 of 6. One last thing that should shame these agencies. Where is that smoking data? The smoking trend matters given that vaping and smoking behaviors interact and vaping displaces smoking, maybe because it has gone up, ? Because these absurd agencies are making things worse. That was the last one. And then the nerd, our friend, the vaping Greek, says then FDA publishes this. This is the official announcement. Youth e-cigarette use remains serious public health concern amid COVID-19 pandemic. This is the funny one. Almost 85% of more than 2 million U.S. middle and high school students have used e-cigarettes.
Sure.
Has used flavored e-cigarettes in 2021.
Sure.
So you see what they did there?
Yep.
85%.
That's going to be the number Monday.
Of 2 million kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think you'll find that there's more than 2 million kids in the United States.
Yeah.
So they're basing the results of 2 million kids sitting at home bored, playing on an online survey.
Inside of numbers, yeah.
Right? This is not cross-sectional. This is not like, we're going to pick, and this is what they normally do, is they'll pick like, one class at this school and one class at that school and one class, and that, they get cross-sectional data that way.
Yeah. They couldn't do it.
Yeah. Skip's a little behind, Kevin.
Well,
that was like a question from 5 minutes ago.
She's on my.
I know it's her birthday and stuff, but I mean, I hope she took her Geritol.
Crankatol.
Maybe you get one of those little Exelon patches.
It's Crankatol.
Everybody's going to be Googling what Exelon is now.
Good Lord. Are you going to read all that?
No, I'm not actually going to read that. I was
scaring
you from it.
There's nothing about smoking.
No smoking on there, no.
Because there is no smoking. It was statistically.
Dude, you seriously got to rub that shit.
It was statistically.
I can't even see that if I squint.
Statistically insignificant in 2019. So Dick, we'll have a little Dick for the evening.
Well, you already have one.
Flavored Dick. Dick is he's such a dick. Flavored e-cigarettes continue to drive the youth vaping epidemic. That sentence all by itself is a lie. Today's data makes it clear that statement is a lie, that the FDA's game of whack-a-mole is failing. There is no game except their own. Millions, plural, millions, Dick, plural, of kids will continue to be targeted because they can't purchase these things. So how can they be targeted? By flavored nicotine, which they shouldn't be touching because it's illegal.
It's already illegal.
That remain on the market. Fuck you. That's that part. Then I said what Dick wants to tell you and what Dick doesn't want to tell you. And then I was going to talk about Clive, because that's exactly what we've already seen public health do it. And now we've seen Dick do it. Don't be a dick. Stop doing that. Fucking idiot. I was going to go after Raja, but I didn't look. I was napping.
Are you going to take a nap? I know that you do you literally have to take a nap every Friday before the show, Kevin?
I did today.
Are you doing?
How am I going to even put it?
Are you taking a page out of Skip's playbook?
Well, Janice likes to keep me quiet for a little while, so it's helpful there. And then having to put up with you, I got to have some sleep.
Man.
Skip had a good potty. Old age bladder. Shame on Skip.
Well, it happens,
It depends. Good. Take a drink. So are we clear now that there's like every kid vapes? It's 8 out of 10 now. That's going to be the number.
No, it's 10 out of 8.
10 out of 8. 10 over 8. All right. That's way beyond my comprehension.
We're in theoretical math now.
So they're having teen sex and reproducing before they're of age, and then those babies are vaping too. Babies are vaping, I'm sure of it.
So Hamish.
Oh,
Hamish just tweeted 4 minutes ago.
Yeah,
he did. He's not in here,
what?
So he's in Twitter. I haven't seen him in here. So it says, I hope he pays you 7 figures. Reckon I'd lie for that amount. Still, I'd love to not be as obvious as Bloomberg stooges. There'd have to still be some truth. Public health vandals. These people must have billions in cancer pharmaceutical or something disgusting. So this is Kelly Henning, Dr. Kelly Henning, and she is obviously the public health lead at Bloomberg.org. You see how Twitter conveniently places information over here on the side. So this is the National Youth Tobacco Survey finds that even amid school shutdowns, 2 million kids used e-cigarettes so far in 2021.
There it is right there, 85%.
85% used flavored products.
But Patrick,
they're all flavored products, Kevin. It would be 100% use flavored products because they're all flavored, unless it specifically says unflavored.
How many
that would
people?
Be PGVG.
How many people are going to read this and say 85% of 2 million people?
Well, no. I mean, you and I are smarter than the average bear, which doesn't really help because bears are not very smart. I mean, have you seen Winnie the Pooh? He's not very smart.
Are we smarter than average drop bears or regular bears?
Well, drop bears are like paratroopers, man. They know when to pull the ripcord and everything. So, but at least this was a little bit more factual because this says 2 million kids used e-cigarettes so far in 2021.
Well, they're predicting futures, but yeah.
So this is 2021, and at least it doesn't say currently used or habitually used. So I'm fine with 2 million kids experimenting with vaping products in 9 months of a year. And then obviously 85% use the flavored products. The longer US FDA delays on review of these products, the easier it is. You see every one of these fuckers, these Bloomberg bastards, whether it's Tahir or Kelly or whatever, every one of them use this sentence.
Yep, of course.
Every one of them are using this sentence. And you'll notice even Raja, I think Raja is on the fucking payroll, dude.
He's on something.
Well, he's riding somebody's dick, I'll tell you that. But anyway,
it's probably Durbin's.
Well, Durbin's.
Dick.
I don't know. He's so old. Dick may not be able to get it up. But anyway, the longer US FDA delays a review, every one of these, I'm not joking. Go through your fucking Twitter and just scroll through the anti-assholes. Every one of them have a sentence much like this, that the longer FDA delays review.
I can show you sentences. Something in a minute.
But here, this says, boom. This is actually the New York Times, Kevin. And if it's not behind a paywall, we can look at it. On my phone, it wouldn't let me see it. It says here, youth vaping declined sharply for second year, new data shows. So at least the headline is that vaping has declined, which is a mostly positive thing, right? Well, now that it has stopped selling most flavored pods, Juul has become far less popular with teens than brands offering disposable fruit and candy flavored devices. So I want you to pay extra attention to that.
No.
So there's this thing called appropriate for the protection of public health. And this is going to be important because the next thing we're going to talk about has to do with appropriate for the protection of public health. But one of the things is that Juul on their PMTA has to show that the kids are not likely to use their product.
Right.
So we've gotten about 6 or 7 years of Juul being the boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
But we talked about before how the game has been rigged from 2 or 3 years.
09.
No. Well, like I specifically am referring to a meeting in DC with FDA with the 5 biggest closed pod companies. And I said in 2016 or 2017, when it happened, that's when FDA made the deal. You pull your flavors and we'll give you a buy on your PMTA.
Right, you're in.
So everybody, I mean, I've known that Juul was in because Juul pulled their flavors.
Of course.
But now this is how they, Juul's not popular amongst kids anymore.
No.
So now they're appropriate for the protection of public health because kids are using Puff Bar.
And look, it went down a little.
Well, it went down pretty much. I mean, so anyway.
Well, it's insignificant numbers, Patrick. We're not going to concern ourselves with those.
So teen use of electronic cigarettes fell sharply in 2021, the second consecutive year of big declines, according to the government's annual National Youth Tobacco Survey.
That we're not allowed to use.
Well, because it's not. It's online survey. Online surveys are worthless, Kevin. This year, 11.3% of high school students reported that they currently vape, which is not true. They've done it once in the last 30 days. Down from 19.6% in 2020 and strikingly lower than 27.5% in 2019, according to the report of the national issued. What? I'm in the middle of a sentence.
I'm just
shut your pie hole in the middle of a sentence. When I get to a period, then you can open your pie hole. According to the report of the survey issued Thursday by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Period.
Even with the drop. But wait.
Even with the drop, the survey found that more than 2 million high school and middle school students were currently using e-cigarettes. And because the declines came during the pandemic, some public health experts questioned whether the data really signaled a change in youth vaping trends over the long term.
Parenting is an action verb. It really is.
Why do you expect? Why would I go to all the trouble of knocking my wife up and having a kid if I actually wanted to be a parent?
I don't know, because it was fun in the beginning.
Or poking a hole in her IUD.
Well, something.
E-cigarettes came on the market in the United States in the early 2000s. Not really. 2009 is not the
Where did they get that from?
Devices designed to give smokers the nicotine fix they craved without the carcinogens that came from burning cigarettes. But they began to catch on with teenagers who had never smoked. And in 2018, the FDA warned of an epidemic of vaping amongst teenagers who were becoming addicted to nicotine through e-cigarettes.
That's false, because you're at your period. They didn't warn of it. They created it.
Yes.
So there's truth within the lie, and then there's lies within the truth.
Actually, though, was it FDA that did those focus groups?
Yes. Well, I don't know if FDA actually.
I thought it was CDC that did those.
The conducting of it, I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it was the CDC. I could be wrong, though. In a statement, Mitch Zeller, the director for the FDA Center for Tobacco Products, the CTP, said that the new data remained concerning, particularly the popularity of flavored e-cigarettes, which were banned by the Trump administration, but remain on the market in certain forms through a regulatory loophole. No, it isn't. He specifically banned flavored pods.
What?
According to the report, nearly 85%. Here we go. This is where the stats get all jumbled.
What did I say? What did I just say? Go back to the tape.
It's 85% of the 2 million.
I know, but
down here it's just 85% now. According to the report, nearly 85% of youth e-cigarette users said that they used flavored products. 100%, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Tobacco and menthol are flavorings.
Mm-hmm.
The most common flavors were fruit flavors, but also included candy, mint, and menthol, consistent from prior years. We are equally disturbed by the quarter of high school students who use e-cigarettes and say they vape every single day.
Mhm.
Now,
So
be
now
very careful now.
tobacco control man.
We are equally disturbed by the quarter of high school students who use e-cigarettes and say they vape every day.
Mm-hmm.
The quarter of high school students that vape every day.
All I can see
11.3% have vaped in the last 30 days.
Right.
11.3%. So now there's 27%
the data
that are
is
daily
the data.
regular users.
Paul Newhouse points and says the data is the data. It's not the data because
how
it's
can it go from
11.3%
11.3% have used it once in the last 30 days to 27%? 27% being habitual users.
Because when you got your tongue up Raja's ass who's licking on Dick's dick, that's how the math comes out.
Man, you're getting very explicit today.
I'm sorry, ladies.
You're getting way too descriptive with the sexual metaphors, Kevin.
Metaphor. Let me Google that.
Are we age restricted on this show? I better check, make sure there's no children watching.
No, you better check and make sure the parents are watching the children to make sure they're not listening.
Skip, are your great grandkids watching?
Great.
You had to go one meaner.
1 meter. Oh.
The results show that what?
Tobacco control math. How does that work? This is how it works. 85% of kids are vaping. That's all they have to say now.
I've got to read this thing from Heart Association.
The
results show that the crisis of e-cigarette use amongst youth remain very much alive, even with kids spending large amounts of time at home during the pandemic because their parents aren't paying attention to them. The Heart Association said in a published statement, with millions of children having returned to school this fall, immediate action is needed to prevent the sale of flavored e-cigarettes and other tobacco products, including menthol products. And the bitch, president what?
Metaphor.
What is this?
President and Robin Koval. Truth. What do you mean?
I thought she was Pave.
No.
Okay. Robin Koval, president and chief executive officer of the Truth Initiative, a nonprofit. That's a lie.
Well,
that's a lie. The nonprofit organization focused on ending nicotine addiction emphasized that the sharp drop in youth vaping may be attributed to a temporary factor, the pandemic restrictions that keep young people at home. Kids were not what?
They're focused on what?
Nicotine addiction.
Oh no, it's not smoking anymore. Okay,
no, it's nicotine addiction.
I want to clarify to the audience that they are no longer concerned about smoking. They were concerned about nicotine.
The Truth
addiction.
Orange no longer cares about smoking.
They don't care.
No.
Generally because it doesn't exist, but go ahead.
The pandemic, no. Kids were not in school. They were not seeing friends.
What does that tell you? All by itself.
That parents are doing a bad job if they're
so parenting is an active verb.
Yes, it yeah. Another striking change seen in the new data was that the decline in popularity of Juul, the once dominant e-cigarette maker whose sleek devices, sometimes dubbed the iPhone of e-cigarettes, are considered by many to have started the youth vaping trend. Juul now only sells menthol and tobacco flavors after the FDA banned flavored pods in early 2020. The latest survey shows that puff bars, which are already fucking illegal because they were not introduced in the market before 8816.
So there's two laws being broken in this paragraph.
Yes. The latest survey showed that puff bars, which sells a variety of flavors, is the most popular brand amongst youth, with 26% of regular high school e-cigarette users reporting Puff as their usual brand. Other popular brands include Views, which you can only buy at a fucking convenience store, and Smock or Smoke with 9.6%. Smock or smoke is obviously a open vaping device.
Now, can you correct me because I'm wrong?
You are,
and as you like to do. I swear, Richard, it might have been you. In fact, showed in one of these surveys when they were saying that Juul was the most popular, it was not the most popular. And not in this year; it was a different year. But anyway, they like to.
I don't know. I don't know.
It ended up being that it was Views and the other ones anyway. So that they'd heard of and they.
So now only 5.7% of the 85%.
That's a miracle.
Are Juuling. They're using the Juul.
I don't understand these numbers because I haven't seen tobacco-free kids. Of course, they've blocked me. They're not advertising Juul. So how did views go up so high? And why is Juul's lost?
Because that's what their parents could get at the convenience store on their way home.
Dad smoked Old Golds and he went to Raleigh and I was pissed. Go ahead.
That change reflects a loophole in federal regulations that allow flavors to be sold in disposable e-cigarettes while banning them in pods. Go in refillable. That's a typo. You know that always messes my rhythm up when my OCD is just like refillable cartridge-based devices that companies like Juul sell. The loophole caused a surge in sales of disposables and in popularity amongst disposable brands, noticeably Puff bars.
It's a fucking lie.
In 2021, disposables were most commonly used by about 53% of youth who vape, followed by refillable and pre-filled cartridges at 28.7%. A year ago, these figures were essentially flipped, with pre-filled pods and cartridges leading and disposables taking a distant second. The new numbers renewed calls to close the loophole and ban flavors for all devices, including disposables. I'm not even going to read Matt Myers' bullshit, Kevin.
Correction. We didn't get it all, but this is what we did get.
This is a Pulitzer Prize winning reporter, Kevin. And I found at least 3 typos. Do I need to do the same thing I did to the Australian guy on this one?
You should, because it's funny, but no.
Like, dude, you're a fucking Pulitzer Prize winning author and you can't even fix your typos? Seriously? Well, Microsoft Word has a grammar check.
Here's the end of that. His work is focused on science, technology. You let it go. And storytelling. What? It said, look at the bottom of his fucking thing.
Narrative driven. He joined the Times staff in 2000, and his work is focused on science, technology, business, and narrative driven storytelling around those issues.
Narrative driven storytelling. I love that.
He's the narrator that's driving the story.
Was that on Twitter? Put that in the chat so I can find that.
What?
That article. I didn't see this one at all.
You didn't see this one?
I did stuff.
Here, I will copy and paste it into the chat for everyone to read.
I like that narrative-driven storytelling article.
I'm really refilling my drink, Kevin.
All right, fine. You can do that. Do that first. Stop. That sounds like a bunch of bots sitting together.
What?
Narrative-driven
storytelling.
Narrative-driven.
Hey, I read a lot, so I'm into narrative-driven storytelling.
I'm all a Twitter about that. I like that. I
didn't use any unique words this week to get your attention, did I, Kevin?
I know you didn't. That's okay. Well,
I did use no spot though today.
You did what?
I used the phrase no spot.
No spot.
Yes. In the show notes for today's show,
yeah,
I used the phrase no spot.
No spot.
Yes. The CDC and their I'll just read it because it was funny when I said it.
All right.
So, or when I wrote it. So it says here, fewer American kids are smoking and vaping, and CDC and all their friends are in the highly profitable public health orgs are touching the numbers in their no-no spots to make them say something other than fewer kids are using cigarettes or vaping.
Mm-hmm.
They're touching the numbers in their no-no spots. They're fondling the numbers, Kevin.
All right, now I get it.
Ay, Dios mío.
He's on Twitter, and he hasn't been on Twitter since August. That's a fucking waste of time.
Oh, the writer?
Yeah.
Well, he's narrative storytelling somewhere else. Other than
Oh,
on
I'm
Twitter.
gonna tag you, stupid ass. Anyway.
Get him. Get him. Get him. So you remember our friend Yu Yang Danny Wang?
Yes.
That he had to actually. He's this is Yu Yang Danny Wang. He is a WHO, FCTC, SLT certified. He's a Vape Taiwan Media, Taiwan THRA advocate, Smoke Free Foundation. He's a Taiwanese vaping advocate. His name is Yu Yang Danny Wang.
Mm-hmm.
You thought I was going somewhere bad on this, though, didn't you?
It sounded like a bad 80s pop song, really, but
No, that's Wang Chung. Everybody have fun tonight.
That's right.
Everybody Denny Wang tonight. So anyway, this is the CDC's notes from the field: e-cigarette use amongst middle and high school students. This is the full shebang, kids.
Mm-hmm.
This is the full shebang.
Fine smoking. How long will it take you?
Well, first I got to copy this. I'm going to go up here.
I know.
Here. I want to share. So let's share. Okay. So let me see if I can even get the full text. Do you see a link for the full text, Kevin?
No, and in fact, I went to a couple of them and they didn't go to them. So I thought it would go to them. This is all the they're not focusing on the smoking, Patrick. I'm so concerned. I'm sure it's in there somehow, somewhere. And someone smarter than me can probably tell you.
But I'm still scrolling. I'm still going.
I wonder if they asked if they smoked before yet they went to.
Really, bitches? It's the same shit.
Yep, it is.
Fuckers.
That's what they want.
All right, we're gonna have to get our friends. We're gonna have to get our data miners to go out and find the full fucking text.
They'll find it. Juka's probably already got it. I haven't looked.
Hey, did you know? Did you know that I met Norbert?
Met?
Well, in a Zoom room.
Yeah, the Zillatron man himself.
Yes.
And I've
He's
never
funny.
talked to him.
He's funny.
He likes tea.
Well, he's German.
What's that got to do with the price of cheese?
Well, those Europeans, they like tea, It's like a European thing. The Russians, they like tea. The Germans, they like tea.
There's nicotine in tea.
The Italians, they like cappuccino, though.
Nicotine is in tea. Tea contains nicotine. Teetotaler. I like Norb. Norb's a smart man. So you zoomed? Is there is there an anecdotal story to this, or is it just
no? He was just in the Zoom room with Paul and I when we were watching the thing last week, and I just forgot to tell you that I had met him.
I think he would be actually an interesting guest. Hint, hint.
He would be fun. We could have some because he has a sense of humor.
Yeah,
he could be fun.
I think he's extra smarter than us.
Why do you keep saying that people are smarter than us when it's smarter than you?
Extra. Depends on the night.
So, if you remember correctly,
no, I probably won't. Go ahead, test me.
Wait. So Turning Point Brands
Yeah.
got their marketing denial orders,
Denials.
right?
Yeah.
Yes. And then it was reported sometime in the last week that they were suing the FDA.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually got their full text of their the petition to the courts today.
Good.
Excuse me.
Good.
So I thought we would scan this. Now, their entire petition is 222 pages.
Ooh.
And I will copy and paste that into the chat room. It is a PDF on a Google Drive. So let me hit the share button. Share screen. I'm going to share screen again. All right. So this is the full text of the petition. It is it already has a case number.
Yeah.
So this is in the United States Court of Appeals for the 6th Circuit. I don't know where that district is. It's somewhere. It doesn't matter. It's not Judge Grimm. That's the only one that's important. Is if it was Judge Grimm, it doesn't matter how relevant or factual the complaint is if it's Judge Grimm.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is Turning Point Brands and
Cincinnati.
TPB International LLC petitioners. So this is in the Cincinnati district. Okay.
Yeah.
We'd have to do some research to find out what kind of judges are in that district, but we'll not do that now.
No.
Yes, I did watch the GTNF. I didn't watch the whole thing because I was working, and Paul and Paul, Yolanda, me, and Norbert were in a Zoom room watching it together at times. Anyway, United States FDA on petition for review of final marketing denial order by the U.S. FDA, blah, blah, blah. Emergency motion for a stay pending review and for expedited consideration. And then these are the attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
I will see. Anyway, so we'll scroll down. Here's the table of contents. So this is more sources, yada, yada, yada. You know, So it says here, pursuant to federal rules of appellate procedure 18 and 27, petitioners Turning Point Brands and TPB International LLC respectively request an emergency stay pending this court's resolution of their petition for review filed on September 22, 2021, as well as expedited consideration. Respondent, the U.S. FDA, has indicated its opposition to a stay, but consents to expedited consideration. Turning Point Brands respectfully requests a ruling as soon as practicable. So what they're saying is, since they got their MDOs, they have to remove everything that they manufacture off of the market until this is done. So they're asking for this to be expedited so that they don't lose billions of dollars. So this next paragraph is pretty cool. It says, this is a quintessential case for staying unlawful administrative action pending judicial review. The North Star of administrative law is that agencies cannot induce regulated parties to rely on agency representations about regulatory requirements, then penalize them using unannounced after-the-fact criteria, and that is precisely what FDA did. So when you read in here, you're gonna find out that FDA basically told people in their guidance, you don't need to do these long-term scientific studies.
We'll ask for them later.
It says that you can use a review, basically the bridging part. You can make a generalized study of the literature. You can do a literature. So anyway, it says here, I'll read it. Petitioners manufacture electronic cigarette delivery system products. To market these products, petitioners need FDA authorization. but FDA lets companies continue selling certain products pending FDA's review. FDA repeatedly instructed the industry, that's everybody, to obtain marketing authorization. They did not need to produce long-term studies. Instead, FDA recommended submitting scientific literature reviews, consumer perception studies, and other alternatives to show that ENDS products are appropriate for the protection of public health. See that earlier I said we're going to get back to that.
Yep.
So Turning Point Brands took FDA at its word, spending 2 years and $12 million developing an 81,000-page application package. Turning Point Brand studies demonstrated that Turning Point Brand's products help adult smokers transition away from riskier traditional cigarettes. Those studies confirmed that youth users do not currently purchase TPB products, and there's virtually zero likelihood that they will in the future. Does anybody even know what Turning Point Brands manufactures?
Not a clue.
I
Not
do.
a clue.
It's Swisher.
Ah.
So they manufacture. They have a closed pod system, but they also own Solace, which is a nicotine salt e-liquid. It's actually, if it wasn't nicotine, I mean, it's a generic flavor profiles and stuff, fruits and things like that, and they manufacture other things. But Solstice, is it Solstice? Yes. That's their big brand. And like I bought a Boulder. You remember the Boulder pod device?
No.
It's one here somewhere. I'll find it. But it's actually the only pod device that I ever really liked, and it's only like $20.
Okay. That ain't bad.
But they don't make that. But they actually, that's when the Solstice was actually packaged in there. But on September 14th, FDA emailed Turning Point Brands a terse marketing denial order with one paragraph of reasoning requiring TPB to immediately withdraw 490 products from the market. FDA's order was based on criteria FDA never announced beforehand. FDA reasoned that Turning Point Brands failed to conduct a randomized control trial and or longitudinal cohort study or other studies performed over time to show that Turning Point Brands' specific flavored products help adult users stop smoking more than tobacco flavored products do. So that's one of the things in the MDOs. Oh, and they do own Vaporfy. Thank you, Sir Didymus. Which is another big company. But yeah, so they actually never told people, hey, you need to compare your flavored products performance to tobacco flavored products and then compare it to smoking and cigarette products, right? Never told anybody that, but that is the criteria that 99.9% of the Zigzag and Swisher, yes. They were also, they're E8S. That they're also the they were at one point the major funder and of VTA, and before that they were the founders of Savada, National Tobacco. Yet FDA previously deemed these studies unnecessary, and FDA rejected Turning Point Brands' other studies as inherently unreliable, even though FDA previously encouraged these studies. The APA, the Administrative Procedures Act, forbids FDA from engaging in that sort of bait and switch. Further, the APA compels agencies to adequately justify their rulings, but FDA's order arbitrarily disregards key evidence. FDA weighed the general risks with youth, or that youth would use flavored ENDS products against the benefits of adult smokers transitioning to Turning Point Brands products. TPB agrees youth use is concerning, but FDA concluded that the risks outweighed the benefits only by refusing to consider TPB's specific evidence that its products do not reach or attract youth. FDA also imposed a heightened evidentiary standard for proving that Turning Point Brands ends products help adults quit or reduce smoking, yet required less of itself when substantiating risk to youth. See, this is one time out. They won't tell you what the fucking yardstick is. How many kids to how many adults, right?
Right. There is no.
Literally, they're saying that we don't care if 480,000 adults die, but we can't have one kid try vaping one time.
Nope.
Nope. FDA failed to consider the consequences of an across-the-board prohibition on flavored ends for millions of adult smokers who will suddenly lose access to the products that they have depended on to quit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes, Turning Point owns Vapor Beast as well. And I also believe they own Vapor Giant.
So, if anybody in the room decides to do a lawsuit,
that's only page 9 of 222 pages, by the way. I'm not reading the whole thing.
What I hope in there and in everyone else's is Dr. Farsalinos' study with 69,400 people, because that was something that he did for FDA. It's all the software and all the silliness that has to be, for them. 70,000 people, because 70,000 of us don't, actually quit smoking with these flavored products. And flavors weren't a problem until
nobody's ever quit smoking with vaping, Kevin. We already talked about that,
except
at the
kids.
very beginning of the show.
Well, no, except kids. Kids
do. No, because they never smoked. So now it took them from not smoking or vaping. They started with vaping, and now they're going to start smoking. But nobody has ever stopped smoking by vaping.
Professor,
not a single person
said. He said even non-nicotine e-cigarettes are.
He said you might as well keep smoking.
He also said you might as well.
I seem to remember that, Kevin. Mm-hmm. But yes, essentially, Turning Point Brand says we spent a lot of money on these applications, on the science that you told us to do, and you told us not to do this other science that we wanted to do, and now that you're telling us that you're denying our order because we didn't do the science that you told us not to do.
Right.
So this could be important. It could be a temporary, slap on the wrist for FDA. But momentary. I said temporary.
But who's going to slap them on the wrist, and whose wrist is really going to be slapped? Nobody's. That's all fucking pomp and circumstance and whatever.
No, and if you watch Demetrius's show, I don't believe that any lawsuit is going to do anything.
Publicity.
Here, Skip's gonna get mad because I'm gonna be negative.
Are you gonna say I told you so, or are you just gonna roll?
I'm gonna mark the calendar, Kevin.
Oh.
I haven't heard about these other lawsuits. This is the only one that I know about. Is the Turning Point Brands. This is the only one I know about. I don't know about any of the other ones. I've heard that some people did a FOIA request to get memos and stuff. That's not a lawsuit, even though I saw some people on the vape media's people referring to it as a law. It's not a lawsuit. A Freedom of Information Act request is not a lawsuit. This is the only one that I know of. I'm not saying that the other ones don't exist. This is the only one that I know about. And I will say that no, we're not going to get what we want out of this. I tell you that for sure. And even if this is a temporary win, in the long run, all FDA has to do is open an ANPRM, wait for content or comment periods to be over, and then put in place any regulatory scheme they want to put in place, because that's how the system works.
Because it's tobacco.
Yeah. So this might be a temporary deal, but depending on the judge, this may not even be that.
Yeah.
because all
Hey.
judges want to be political appointees. They want to get a.
Hey, Bob.
They want to progress in advance.
I got this crap in front of me. What do you want me to do? That's what I'll do. That's how. That's
And then he's gonna say, I'm running for governor next month or whatever,
Yeah.
So I wouldn't. I mean, it's really awesome. This actual, I mean, the lawsuit is pretty cool. I mean, if you read it, and they've done their work, it is 222 pages. So there's plenty of, that's odd. Did you notice you buy nicotine or get caught with nicotine in Australia without a prescription, and it's $222,000 fine, and this lawsuit is 222 pages.
Mm-hmm. It's like the Twilight Zone.
And it's the year 2022. No, it's only 2021.
I thought it was 2022 yesterday.
No, Kevin. I know your Alzheimer's is flared up, but
well, I do hang around with Skip a little bit. So that was something that came up.
It's her
this
birthday,
week.
Sunday.
What was it? I gotta find it. You as you were.
That's what she said.
Is it what she said? She said something about a gateway earlier this week.
There's a who
The Skip Meister. I'll have to find it. Hang on.
Said something about a gateway.
Yeah. She was being facetious. You like that one? I like that one.
It is Skip's birthday.
Yeah.
I think for her birthday we should do a Skip celebration.
We already sang. I mean, really, we did.
Wait. I man, how many times did I post this Judy thing?
Judy. We should have Judy on too.
I would love to get Judy on the show.
Let's get Norbert and Julie at this Judy at the same time.
Not that one. I'm looking for something now.
First.
Oh, I guess it'll be that one.
Damn it, Skip, you tweet a lot.
I do tweet a lot, but I was looking for this. Here. Let's see. Share.
Oh my God, I'm on today. She's really cranky today.
Kevin, look at your screen. Happy birthday, dear Skip.
Yep.
We should get that on a cake.
Ooh.
They got the cakes that they can like airbrush now, or they can do a print right on the cake. We should get that printed on a cake and have it delivered to Skip for Sunday.
That would be funny.
I know, right?
It would be funny.
And she can't hit us because we're too far away.
No, she's no. What is the deal?
Oh, I got 5 exclamation points, Kevin. I got 5.
Something about smoking being a gateway to vaping.
I don't think you actually know how to use Twitter, Kevin.
I'm not sure that I do. It said, is smoking a gateway to vaping, asking for a friend or something like that? And I said, well, smoking was a gateway to vaping for me, and then Twittering, and then surveying. Are you sure that
was her?
And then blogging, and then cranky old broads. It's been a gateway.
Oh, I just saw a tweet. She says, having fun now, peeing beets and horseradish. Oh, no, peeling. Sorry, not peeing.
Peeling. So, yeah, she'll find it if
she said it's in the YouTube chat.
Oh, see. Well, there you go.
I don't know.
So we're going to say
I literally don't know. I don't know about you, Kevin.
Links in the YouTube chat.
I don't know about her.
I think I can find that. Patrick asking for an early grade.
By the time she gets here, I'll be somewhere else.
That's true. Texas is a big ass state. That's like
It
3
is.
Ohio's, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
3, 4, 5 Ohio's. Yeah, she was being facetious anyway.
Facetious.
Asking about the gateways and yeah. Actually, if I put gateway, bet I can find it quicker.
You think? I'm
Not.
starting to be worried that the bot didn't get his lubricated, his gears lubricated or something.
Yeah, well. Anyway, it isn't important, but it was funny.
Gosh, Kev. 85% of high school kids vape, man.
Well, that's because they're advertised incessantly,
85%.
Of 2 million, but nobody wants to hear that part.
That's not what that reporter said in the middle of that article.
There it is. If someone smokes first and then switches to vaping, was smoking a gateway to vaping?
Well,
question.
Considering literally everybody that I know that vapes was a smoker first,
right?
We are anecdotal. That would still be considered an anecdotal gateway.
That's what I am. I am what I am.
Are you a yam?
Uh-huh. So smoking was my gateway to vaping, then tweeting, then surveying, then blogging, then cranky old broads.
I think this picture that I just found, there was a story last year of there was a bug, and if the bug bit you, it would like paralyze you or something. It had some sort of like, it was some sort of like weird. I think this bug that's on Skip's computer is one of those bugs.
It's a vaping bug.
Don't let it bite you.
Isn't that a lightning bug? What is that?
No.
I can't tell. I don't
know.
The cranky old broad bug.
Don't let it bite you.
Mm-hmm. You're only old if you have that old woman smell, Skip. So there you go.
Are you saying that old women smell?
If you have that old woman smell, then you are an old woman. Mothballs and regret. That's probably what it is.
Wow.
That's what Janet's grandmother smelled like.
Kevin.
What? Oh, I'm not using Karen. Relax.
Wow. There are quite a few women of distinction and that are steeped that listen to our show. And you just said they all smell now, Kevin.
No, I said if you are, then you. If it's modal, relax. And please send all complaints to Patrick.
No.
Piss and biscuits.
Guys. I don't know what to do with you, and Didymus are in trouble.
Hey, come on.
Old lady smell.
I used to tell my stepdad that. Bill, is that you?
That he had old lady smell?
No, he was an old man smell. That's different.
I was going to say, because if you're, never mind. I was going to go in the wrong direction on that one.
He had it hard, though. He lived with my mother, so I gave him a little bit of a break.
Yeah, but if your stepdad had old lady smell, where was he at that he was getting?
Had the old man smell. Yeah. And he's from Kentucky, and I told him every time I went down south that I took my shoes off at the border out of respect.
Mallory, it's Kevin. It's not me.
It's him.
I'm a good boy.
It's him. Yeah. You should hear what I don't say.
Let's see. Kevin, we actually hit all of the topics already.
Good. I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. That's great. We got more shit to do.
Well, I'm waiting.
It's all
have you provided any content for tonight's show at all?
just a little dick. That's all.
Show up you show up at like
5 after. I know.
Like 30 seconds before I go live.
I know.
You showed up in the middle of the countdown.
Yeah.
I was already live.
No, you were you? No, I saw
the time. The countdown. The countdown was. We were live.
Oh,
when
yeah,
the
you were
countdown
live.
is playing. We were live.
You got me on a technicality. I saw Dr. Mendelssohn's words, so I knew you weren't on.
So now Mallory's saying that we're old enough to be her dad and his brothers.
Wow, I'm 53, so there you go. I don't know.
You are pretty old, and I don't know
Mallory,
how old Mallory is.
See, really, all women are 21. They either want to be 21 or they want to be 21 again. Whichever it is, they're all 21. That's the rule. There are no old women, honestly.
I did see what's really funny is Skip and I are in a group chat where we were discussing the CAFRA thing.
Yeah.
Where I was putting what possible topics that we would talk about. And she's like, well, what possible topics are you going to talk about?
All of them.
On the show for the CAFRA week, the 5 days.
Yeah, and I want to remind everyone that what Patrick said earlier was, if you are interested in coming on,
yes,
you should contact him direct
or Kevin.
You can contact me, and then I'll just give it to him, so you can bypass the goofball.
Well, you're going to be there too, directly. Kevin.
So, if you are Mallory, as an example, Didymus, if you guys want to show your faces, come on. I ain't scared. Come on. Tell us what you know.
Well, I mean, I specifically want people that because I'm only asking for the only panel that I have planned so far.
Yeah, will
be the neurodiversity one, and I don't want people just showing up that want to be on. I want people to come on that are willing to talk about their condition, willing to talk about how nicotine improves or affects their neurodiversity.
Mark, you want me to just
if you just want to come on and shoot the breeze,
right?
We can do that anytime.
Yeah,
we don't even have to be live to do that. I mean, you really don't know how many hours of my life I've hung out with Paul and Leanna in Zoom rooms. A lot. It's pretty sad.
Yeah,
it's pretty sad. Actually, let's see.
Poor Leanna. I'm sending.
Nancy Lucas says that I have. Yes. Okay. Okay, here it is. So we're going to do one show on neurodiversity and nicotine. Then we'll probably do harm reduction and tobacco harm reduction. Probably do the A to Z of harm reduction Twitter thread, and maybe make it into a full presentation. I want to do one on the unintended consequences of bad regulation, which we have a guest. He may not be able to.
Is Dick coming on? Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong.
No, I was talking about Chuck, not Charlie. The other scientist that did a study on unintended consequences.
Right.
And then we'll talk about maybe illicit markets.
There is no black market.
Where I will teach people how to break the law.
Oh, the one that's okay, never mind. Did you see your message?
Did you send me a message?
I sent you a damn message.
Why did you send me a private message?
Because I didn't want to interrupt you. You were being completely stellar, and I didn't want to interrupt the perfection.
Well, that would be interesting.
Yolanda, you're 21.
I officially draft Mark for that task.
Well, funny, that's where it came from. So
I know.
Oh, you caught on. Look at you, triple tasking.
I'm not going to Washington, D.C. I've spent way too much time in D.C. already. And definitely not going to do Washington, D.C. in the late fall or winter. If we're gonna do this, we need to find a really nice beach somewhere and do it.
Coffins. Still say coffin.
Toe tags.
Toe tags. Toe tags are smaller.
Yeah.
You don't need the permits like you did for the coffin.
I really want to rent. What we should do is rent a helicopter and get the special permit that would allow us to fly over the FDA in Silver Springs, Maryland.
And then airdrop it?
And just airdrop it.
That's a good idea. I don't even like you, but that was a good idea.
Toe tags are way cheaper. We can't do 480,000 body bags. We can do 480,000 toe tags.
FDA regulation. You tag them, we slab them. Come on.
But
toe tags is probably just as heavy.
What was in that picture that Mark sent looks like it would require a lot of time.
It is.
And it's about to get cold in that part of the world. And I live in Texas, almost at the Mexican border, maybe an hour and a half north of the Mexican border. And even in the winter here, I've lived here since 2007. Mm-hmm. I specifically moved here to get away from cold weather.
Mm-hmm.
And it's snowed twice here since I moved here.
Did you see what he said?
Again, 480,000, really? In 2 hours?
Well, represents 480,000. I don't know how many.
He specifically said you want to plant 480,000 of these.
Oh, it did.
And he says 100 people can do it in 2 hours. That means that in an hour, one person can do 4,800 of these.
Stop it.
I think toe tags are a lot easier. How can I only have two hands? I can't do 100 at a time.
You'll have one in a bucket.
Everybody's like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Now I can't get your damn picture to open, Kevin.
Why not?
There, it finally opened.
Okay. All right.
Here, I'll show everybody what. Am I allowed to show this before I show this, Kevin or Mark? I like the toe tags are way better.
More symbolic. Go back to the...
And why can't Mark send it directly to me?
I don't know. Something about not liking you. I don't know.
He doesn't like me?
No, I'm joking. Now that I actually don't want to have that start. No.
So Mark says that he believes so. So I will share this real quick so that everybody understands what the hell we're talking about. So Mark wants to know what I think about going to DC and planting 480,000 little white flags with people's names on them.
At the monument.
At the Washington Monument. Well, it wouldn't be nearly as... you talking about on Twitter or are you talking about on Facebook? I would just... How are we going to get 480,000 names? That's the other thing. Because I don't know that many people. I mean, where are we going to get the names of 480,000 people that have died of smoking-related illnesses? But
see, that's the thing. It's related.
He thinks that we can put 480,000 of these down in 2 hours.
The first snow looks pretty on TV. As I
sit
here in the truck.
You know how this works, though, on the National Mall? You have to physically pick them all back up, though.
Permits, yeah.
Even if you have the permit to do it, you have to clean it up.
Yeah.
You can't leave it there.
Yeah. We did that at the first rally. Pretty good, though. We didn't find three things.
I mean, you literally cannot leave it there.
Better than when it was.
So if your permit is for 4 hours, you have to put it up, take your pictures, and then clean it up. You can't just leave it there.
Yeah.
Because they will come after you.
Yeah. They know who you are, or they'll take you and figure it out.
Oh no, they will follow you. Hey, pick your shit up, dude. What do you mean you're leaving? You better pick that up.
Yep.
Parks and Rec will come after you, man.
Yep. They got guns.
But I'm just thinking dropping 480,000 toe tags at the front steps of the FDA.
And then we don't have to clean them up.
And then fuck
That's
them.
their
They can clean
problem.
it up. Yeah. I'm more civil disobedience. This is organized and pretty and very powerful. I want to ruin their day.
Well, they've had kids.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Are you saying that your life was ruined by your wonderful children, the pothead and the other one?
No, they being the anti-stupidity and children, and
I refer to your kid, your sons as the pothead and the other one.
I refer to them as worse, mostly. And
I don't think I've ever interacted with the other one, but I have interacted with the pothead indirectly by referring to him as the pothead and him laughing in the background.
Of course, yeah. He's an adult. He's making adult decisions. I don't any longer need to parent.
No. Are you saying that he's making adult decisions?
No, he is an adult.
You just said he's making adult decisions.
His adult decisions.
But he's making a decision. But you've said multiple times that he's not an adult.
He's a wannabe adult. Don't do that. Oh, you did it, didn't you? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so next week I'm going to take a clip of tonight of us singing "Happy Birthday" to Skip, and I'll play that as the intro for next week.
It has Phil, or
especially the part where you call her old lady.
You add that in the middle between and we might need to pay royalties for that. Anyway,
no. Live renditions do not count under the copyright.
Oh, and I think it's like 6 people or more in the room, and there's not 6.
If I play here on a guitar and I play "Love Me Tender" by Elvis in my off-key voice, it's not counted because I'm performing the song.
Okay.
So why is Bruni tagging me now?
I don't know.
He's atting me.
No, he's probably
telling everybody what my Twitter is.
Advertising.
Oh.
Did you find something?
No, I was just thinking of the videos that I've created for the cop thing.
Yeah. Do you have Eliana in there?
I have like 6 of Eliana. So
because we've done science on the show.
Yes.
We've done study analysis on the show. We've done many things, and now we've also sung. So can anybody tell me if Phil and Demetrius have sung together ever? No. Okay.
Oh.
What?
Oh. Yolanda doesn't already follow me on Twitter?
Well, you see.
I'm gonna cry now.
You'll be all right.
I'm so sad.
You'll be fine. Take your Geritol.
What was the thing? I was just here. I was like, oh, I'm going to play this. And I already figured out what it was. Oh, no, I didn't forget. I remember now. So, Mitch, we talked about appropriate for the protection of public health, right?
Yes.
So we've already solved it. It's already been solved. Mitch Zeller solved it for us.
That's right.
I should put music behind that, though. It's kind of boring without any music.
He's kind of boring.
This is a meme, and it's basically the quote that I said a while ago. If we can get all those people to complete. Look at this, though, Kevin. Look at us. We're right beside each other. Where's my hat? I got to put my hat on. You won't even be able to tell the difference.
You're a chucklehead.
Completely switch all of their cigarettes for one of these non-combustible products, e-cigs, that would be good for public health, right? So part of the PMTA process is that you have to prove that your product is beneficial for the public health, right? So
Yeah, sure. Well, you're
Zeller-
guilty to proven innocent, right?
Zeller knows
I know he knows.
that vaping is a benefit for public health. So why do we have to prove it? Because he actually said it right there. Shouldn't we be able to use that as like? Let's just take a video because it's on the internet. We can take that video and include it as our proof, our science, as part of our PMTA.
That's
You
exactly
have
right.
already acknowledged, as head of the CTP, you have already acknowledged that these products are good for the public health.
Literally, if it was me doing this, I would be the guy that would be screenshotting that.
I mean, he is literally saying, if we can, he says the quote, and this is from the Senate Help Committee in 2015. If we get all of those people to completely switch all of their cigarettes for one of these non-combustible products, that would be good for public health.
So, Patrick,
That's him basically admitting
that's the
these
evidence.
are appropriate for the protection of public health.
But Charles, Dr. Gardner, if you will, has, I don't know, 60 different agencies. My blog has probably about a third of those because he deep dove. He took one of them suits and he went down as far as he could go. He drilled.
Well, at least he wasn't skinny dipping.
He was. Well, he doesn't like us, so he can
That is
skinny
true.
dip. If anybody wants to show the FDA what proof they have, in my opinion, the best proof to have is their proof. That is proof. So is, at the time, the head of the FDA, Gottlieb's statements, and of course Jerry's statement, or two. I think he had two that I have in my archive.
Jerry?
Yeah, Jerry. But we can't do it at the cost of children. So it's better, but not at the cost of children. So they hide behind, George Carlin said, politicians hide behind the Bible and children and all that good stuff. So when you're going to have an agency say, well, you have to prove it, because you're not innocent until proven guilty in this case.
You're guilty until proven innocent.
They told the public in snippets, not in writing, but in snippets, where this is more beneficial for public health, and it's good. And that would be part of public health.
Yes, he said
my submission. I'm not suggesting it, but it would be me doing that.
So I said, if the head of if head of FDA makes statements like this, FDA knows that vaping is a benefit to the public health. Azar, that's Azar, Secretary Azar, Steve Hahn, and Donald Trump should act on PM2 reform now to prove that they are a benefit to the public health and just pretending to care.
I'm so impressed with your tweets.
See, you actually are impressed with my tweets, you said.
Well, I probably was drinking that night, but all right.
Coffee?
You've done some really good stuff. And Skip, again, Safer Nick Wiki.
Yes.
70. She has 70. Over 70. So there's no reason that we can't find it. There's no reason.
That's not one of the, so I'll give you the count real quick. I did 3 clips from Mark Tyndall, which you weren't here for.
Yep.
So then I did, Mariwa is the gold medal winner. She has 7 clips from 2 different shows.
But she's like 4th on your list.
Then Holly did 1. I just have Senator Holly Hughes once. Henage is 3.
Nice. Yeah.
Eliana is 6. No, 4.
Still.
And then Charles, because he was also a 2-shower.
Yep.
Is 7.
Okay.
So there's a substantial amount. Plus, I've done a couple other ones that are not in there because they were not international, but I'll probably throw them in there anyway.
They can use them at will, right?
And I did just download Colin Mendelson and the financial guy that we did 2 weeks ago. I can't Chuck. And his name, I always I mispronounced his name every time I said it.
I can't say it either.
I know, because you're a chucklehead too.
He said it.
Hello, let me just say I don't like either of you.
Well, that's understandable.
Hey, the stoner was in the background.
He's walking by going, what are you talking about me for, Dad? Stop it.
He's a chucklehead too. It's hereditary.
Well,
Can't help it. Save it. And Mr. Pruin just put the link in. Mm-hmm.
Does he have permission to share links?
Of course he does.
Okay.
We should have him on.
We could. He's from one of those weird countries too, right? He's not from America, is he?
I think Richard's in the U.S.
Oh, I thought he was in Europe or something. I thought he was like
He'll tell us in a second.
A weird European. Not that there's anything wrong with being European.
Send all letters to. Nope. He's in the UK.
I knew he was not one of us.
Maybe he came to Chicago or so. I can't remember now. I forget.
One of us.
Not enough nicotine.
Yeah, I can't use the Gerlitz clip because it's way over. They told me to limit my clips to 3 to 5 minutes, and then I sort of negotiated and got 6 minutes out of them. But Gerlitz is 14 minutes long.
No.
Yeah, that's he had so many good things I couldn't cut it down.
You can't. He does
have diarrhea of the mouth. So
what scares me about David is that he can't possibly tell us everything he knows. He can't.
What?
Dave cannot tell us everything he knows.
Well, he's probably forgotten so much. I mean, he is old. He's already gone. I can't even. I burned him. He's not even here.
Beetlejuice. Oh, YouTube is just showing the Zeller meme.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Skip's over there talking about stuff.
I have no idea. Janine.
Uh-oh.
Is Janine?
There's another one.
I want to get Judy. Now that I know that
Judy.
she wants me to paint naked pictures of her.
She's very snarky. You got to watch her.
I know she.
It took her a week to respond to that. Scared.
I know, but I don't know if I actually tagged her.
I thought you did.
As soon as what's his name tagged her, I think I did, but
it
did get shared a couple times.
Yeah, it was. It was a few. It was enough.
I don't know, man.
Clusterfuck.
That's classic shit right there. And I don't know, is Andrew still here? Did Andrew was here earlier, but he did message me earlier in the week that our vaping bans were in production.
Nice.
So
Judy's vape bans. It went from a comment to vape bans pretty fast.
Yeah. So it got 67. It got 67 hearts and 41 retweets.
Good.
And 832 views on Twitter.
Even better.
See, here's the thing, Kev. I'm going to share this real quick because I'm looking at this video. Oh, no, I don't want to. I want to look at the actual tweet. Let me go to the share screen again. So there's this. All right. So I want you. It's going to cycle through now. Watch this lady right here.
Yeah.
And this guy's covering his face.
He was already covering his face, though. But
he's like a little bit. He's like, "Oh, she's gonna embarrass me." He's probably Inco as well.
Is that on the left?
Huh?
Can't tell. Is that Joe?
This guy? Gitchell?
Yeah.
This is not Gitchell.
Can't. So it's tiny. Sorry, Joe, if you ever listen. I doubt you do, but.
I don't think that. I don't think so. And this cat back here, look at this grin on this guy's face back here. He's
and to yep, she's kind of going. Oh yeah.
She's looking to going. I want to grow up and be just like her.
And then the girl with her hand on her chin is kind of.
This one back here, she's kind of looking kind of.
And he's like,
oh, she's look. She has her little vape device right there on the table by her phone, and she's got her tablet here, and cans of water.
Yeah. So, Kafra's videos that you're producing are mostly professionals.
Well, yes.
Not all consumer related, but for the consumer, of course. But they're mostly for the professional.
What do you mean? Why is it that we have to DM you, Yolanda? You can DM us. I gotta go over here. Let me go find Yolanda on Twitter. Give me a second here, Kevin.
Oh, the Charles.
Charles already knows about it.
Yeah.
You think I would jump on the neurodiversity subject without mentioning to him that I'm gonna do it?
Well, you're nicotine enhanced. You might.
Here. All right, Chugga. I'm DMing you.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug.
I'm sliding into your DMs.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Do you know who that artist was? Chug-a-lug?
I already slid up into your DM box. You see, I had to turn that dirty. You see that? See what I did there?
You're from Texas. I know. Chug-a-lug, who did it? Quick, hurry. You're musically inclined. Do you know who the artist was?
Chug-a-lugga?
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug, 3, 4, 5. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. No? Okay.
No.
Roger Miller.
Is it a song?
Yes. It's older than me song. I mean, it's like 60s or something. I don't know. Well, Roger Miller died pretty young, so.
Are you sure?
Chug-a-lug, Roger. Chug-a-lug.
Right, chug.
I can't believe you.
Every
time you say chugga, I think of that song. It's a drinking song. I'm amazed you don't know it.
Well, there are lyrics. Chug-a-lug, make you want to holler hi-de-ho. Burns your tummy, don't you know? Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Grape wine in a mason jar, homemade and brought to school. Be a friend of mine. After class, me and him and his other fool decide. It don't even rhyme.
It's all right. It's Roger Miller. It doesn't matter.
This is from 1964.
Trailers for Sailor Rent. Room to Let, 50 Cent. You don't know that one either?
I know that one.
It's the same damn guy. It's the same guy.
I've never heard this one before.
All right, so now you got to do it. That's your homework for the week. You all right?
I'm listening.
No, I'm asking if she's all right. She's actually cold. She's never. Chug-a-lug.
I don't want to get a copyright ding.
Burn your tummy, don't you know?
See, how can if I share a video of something that's on YouTube already, how can I get a YouTube copyright
skate in a buffalo herd? I don't know, Patrick. You're the copyright.
But they do that. They do that. If you share a video that is freely put up on YouTube, you get dinged. I get dinged.
I don't know. Roger Miller is a great artist, or was a great artist. I believe he killed himself, though.
It's actually the B-side of King of the Road.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
I'm looking here. It's a B-side.
Dad was a huge Miller fan. So I,
Steve
in
Miller?
turn,
I'm a huge Steve Miller fan.
yeah, I love Steve Miller.
Big old jet airliner.
Joker's to the left of me.
No.
No, you are to the left of me.
That's
my screen.
Steelers wheels.
I know.
Here I am stuck in the middle with you.
Sir Didymus said hi from the YouTube chat. See, I
well,
see it, but sometimes it moves.
I thought he was in this chat a while ago.
I thought he was too. They confused me.
They do. Did you notice that they jump from one place to the next, right?
It's like the Joker thing. I'm a Joker, I'm a smoker, and then Joker's to the left of me. That was the reference. But anyway, go ahead. Yeah, they
now you're getting two songs. You're having incestuous relationships between two different songs.
So if you say Chugga, I think of 3 songs now. So there you go.
So now you're implying that Chugga is an alcoholic because she got her nickname from a Roger Miller song about drinking.
You're implying that I'm implying is what that's.
I'm inferring that you're implying.
You're inferring. I'm sorry. You're right. Sir Didymus, he's another one. A Bastard was in the room too, by the way, just so you know.
I think, he's an Aussie too.
Still haven't figured out who he is. Never have.
Well, Didymus and you. Well, you know what's really funny though? Here's a really funny story about Chugga. Last week when we were doing the Global Tobacco Nicotine Forum, and we were all in a Zoom while I was driving down the road to my appointments, I said to her about empty bottles of wine. And apparently she's still finding empty bottles of wine from the night that she was on our show.
So it's at least, what are we up to, like 80?
It's beginning to concern me. I think we need to have an intervention.
No. She can do her. She can do what she likes.
Get drunk and then go out in that kayak and flip it over, and they'll find her washed up on the shore because some jellyfish bit her or something.
Oh, see, now you got that in my head. But she could also drink and then come on the show.
Or they got those spiders. Do they have the same killer spiders in New Zealand that they have in Australia?
That can't be alcohol.
Or the cane toads? Do they have the cane toads? Because they are really close to each other.
I don't know.
They got spiders in Australia that are big enough to kill a bird.
Damn.
So I'm wondering, do they have the same like murderous animal life in New Zealand?
They probably do.
You know, I'm wondering. You know, I never heard anything about New Zealand having weird, crazy. No. You know, if a platypus bites you, they have venom. They're like a venomous half duck.
Katipo. What the hell is that?
You know,
I gotta go to Google.
Weird looking beaver with a duck bill and fangs.
Capito. Well, he looks menacing. Yeah. That's scary.
Yes, and Didymus was actually there as well. I met him on the interwebs as well, on the Zoom room.
All right, so you got to impress everybody. You got to get Judy on.
We have to figure out but see, the thing is Judy lives in England, and their time zone difference is fucked up.
Well, that's true.
That's why we could never get Alan, even though Alan was kind of like soy about it. He was like, "No, I don't want people to see me, and I don't want people. I don't want." And he tried to pull the Skip. Oh, by the way, Skip was wrong, and I was right
about
when she said that I never invited her.
Yeah. Did you show her?
And I did, and I sent her the screenshot, and she actually even posted the screenshot, but then denied the screenshot. It doesn't say what it says.
No, she said bullshit, but I'm not sure what she's referring to. Probably you.
She's gonna deny it, but I said, "What if I invited you on the show?" And she said, "Don't do that. Don't put me on a spot. I refuse to be. I wouldn't even be interviewed for Aaron's movie."
See, when
That's
she says
not no, I don't know what the hell it is.
when she says bullshit, she's talking to you. When she says full of shit, she's talking about me. That way we know the difference.
Oh, okay. Well, I can always give you a laxative, and you won't be full of shit anymore. Or we can get Skip to give you a
Geritol. So, Ducalax. So when is Norbert coming on?
I don't know. He's in Germany. That's even a more fucked up time change.
Well, yeah.
Remember when we had Bard on?
Yeah.
Poor guy got up at like 3:00 in the morning to come on the show.
I wasn't on that one, but yeah, I knew he was. It was like 3. So yeah. Michael Jackson's Wall album. I'm not sure. I got to look that one up too.
There's an album where Michael Jackson is standing in front of a wall.
Oh yeah.
It's the one right before Thriller.
Yeah.
Which is actually a really good record, even though he was diddling little boys.
Well, yeah. They don't have ruse. Bush pigs. Do they
have Tasmanian devils?
Do they look like
spin around like this?
I wonder if the bush pigs look like tobacco control experts. That's just me. I don't know. All opinions expressed on this show are for you to decide what you like or not.
No, all opinions on this show are correct. And if you don't like it, go watch a different show.
Well, that's true. If she said if, or you said if it wasn't
Janine
an
says
actual.
That she's sorry and she's tired and a little bit stranger than tonight. We're pretty strange.
There's some oddities.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Here, Kevin. Let me see. What is this one? Give me a second here. Hold still.
Hold still. Hold on. What do you want me to hold?
Hold still. No, give me that one. Give me here. Let's do this one. Let me see. Got to go to properties and I got to get details real quick. Here, we'll do this one.
Hide your porn.
Boom, chicka, boom, 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 chicka, boom, boom, blue, blue.
Oh yeah.
I think it alleviates some of the symptoms in some people. That's the most conservative interpretation of the research I've seen, and the same with Tourette's or some of the other disorders. It definitely helps people with schizophrenia focus. Yes. So if it makes your voices go away or no, seriously, if it helps you, people are using nicotine because it helps them. And so that's not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. And we need to recognize that people are not just using nicotine as a recreational drug. Alcohol is 100% and only a recreational drug.
I have to stop for a minute because I need alcohol. It is a medicinal for me. I just want people to understand.
Used to think of it that way, but now we understand that cannabis, for some people, especially, for example, people recovering from chemotherapy, it alleviates pain, chronic pain. Okay, that's great. It helps them. So yeah. With very few side effects.
We live in a world now where everybody wants to pretend like they care about other people. I don't always believe that the people that claim that they do, but being in a more compassionate society, shouldn't we be looking for options on how to help our fellow man?
That would be an ethical thing.
I don't care if he doesn't like either one of us. I love that man.
I strongly like him.
Man, I'll go as far as to say man crush.
I don't have a
not an affinity. No.
I mean, I like him very strongly.
You'll be fine, Patrick. Relax.
No, because Didymus will get jealous.
Well, Demi's not listening, so I can say what I want. I don't care. I ain't scared. All I know, nope, nowhere near it. All I know is when we talk to people, humans that are pro-human, like Charles, who've had decades of experience, and they can school us exactly, Mr. Pruitt, exactly. I didn't know that 20 years ago. I didn't know that 10 years ago. I didn't know it 5 years ago, in fact.
Oh, shit, I forgot. Keep going. There's one more thing that I really want to do.
And when we have people on like Dr. Gardner, and we do play around, and we do have that's part of the whole deal with us, I think, with Patrick's show. We also have people who are informing you in ways that no others all your lives ever have or would. And why is that? If he knows this, why don't they explain the same damn thing? And that is the sadness that I carry around every day, going, why don't these people do what they should? Because they're not. That's why. It pisses me off. So man crush.
Duh.
And I'm
something
hearing
happened this week that we need to we need to, yeah, here it is. So we've referred to Father Jack Kearney a few times on this show.
Yes.
And we were saddened to find out that Father Jack passed away this week.
Yeah.
He is one of the old school anti vaping warriors, and he was a priest and an addiction professional. He did drug treatment. He had drug treatment center that was with the church, and he used to come and hang out on Vapors TV, and has an amazing video discussing the difference between addiction and dependency, and will be lost. I know a lot of y'all young people maybe don't know or never heard of him, but yeah, Kevin put it in, but this is that's
his channel.
The video. This is the specific video about addiction to e-cigarettes. He's going to be missed by us old fogies.
Can that be also submitted to Capra?
I don't own the video.
No,
I would love to.
That's true.
And I don't know that anybody would.
Yeah, nobody would care.
I don't imagine.
Right.
I don't imagine that he would come against me, or anything like that. But it is. It is tremendously sad for me. That he's not going to be around. So we are going to spend a minute and actually play a few minutes of this video. Except I got to turn the sound on and rewind it.
Hi, this is Father Jack back again, this time to talk about this silly, crazy notion that somehow people get addicted to nicotine and electronic cigarettes. It's nonsensical. It's used by the anti-nicotine tobacco zealots, the ants, to have just one more reason why they should ban these things. And it's ridiculous because it's not true. There is no such thing as addiction to electronic cigarettes. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, wait a minute, I think I'm addicted because I vape just as much as I ever smoked, and I want to help you understand why that's not exactly the same. There is a huge, important difference. I'm qualified, I think, to talk about this both personally as a recovering smoker and now a vapor, but also professionally, as I am a professor of addiction studies at a local community college, and I also teach things like pharmacology and addiction studies at a university. I know my stuff personally and professionally, and I've certainly studied this in every way, shape, or form. So, what I am and what many of you are is perhaps dependent on nicotine or dependent on electronic cigarettes. And you say, well, what's the difference? Addiction, dependency, addiction, same thing. No, it's not the same thing. Very important distinction, because you can be dependent on a substance without being addicted to it, and you can be addicted to a substance without being dependent on it. So it is a big difference. With addiction, you need treatment, you need help. It's a different ballgame. So let me just give you the real nutshell of all this. Anybody can use a substance, right? Everybody does, medicine, whatever, normal. Sometimes we abuse substances. When we take that third Tylenol because we think our headache is so bad, and gosh, you know what happened when grandma had that second glass of champagne at your sister's wedding. Whoa. Okay. Sometimes people abuse substances. My fraternity guys, they're professional abusers because they think every Friday and Saturday night it's their job to deliberately get as drunk as possible. Well, that's not alcoholism. That's not addiction, right? That's just stupid, right? So there's use, there's abuse or misuse. Then we have this thing called dependency. Now, dependency is merely the body's reaction to being accustomed to a certain kind of chemical that has the properties of punishing you for stopping using it. Now, the real simple, obvious example of that is caffeine. I drink a lot of coffee. Many of you drink a lot of coffee, and we enjoy the mild stimulant effects of caffeine. But caffeine itself has this property that it acclimates to your body in such a way that, gosh, if I didn't drink coffee tomorrow morning, by noon, I'm going to have severe headaches. That's a withdrawal symptom of a drug. It doesn't mean I'm addicted to it, right? We make jokes about caffeine junkies and all that sort of thing, but that's not addiction. Addiction is a different ballgame whatsoever, because basically caffeine dependency does not have negative consequences. Not to me. It might if you're pregnant or have a heart condition, but most people, it's merely a simple dependency. That's different than addiction. Addiction involves loss of control, making you careless of people's welfare, and a whole list of other things. But the main criteria is persistent use despite negative consequences. You keep doing it, even though you know it's going to hurt you. You keep doing it anyway, and no matter how bad things get. That's what addiction is. And that's why smoking may qualify as an addiction. Certainly, I spent too much money on it. I did it in spite of how it was harming my health, the smell, all that stuff. You could maybe argue that smoking was. But I wasn't addicted to nicotine. I was addicted to smoking, because smoking is a lot more than just ingesting nicotine, right? The ritual of opening a pack of cigarettes, smelling it, the way we light it, the way we converse with other people while we smoke. It's a biopsychosocial phenomenon. It involves much.
I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I did put the link to this in there. It is an amazing video, and it's only a few more minutes, but he explains the difference and why people that use nicotine are not addicts. There's a moment in the longer version of the Steve Sapir video where he keeps continuously referring to himself and other vapors as addicts. And I don't particularly like that word, but not in context, because there really are no negative side effects of nicotine when you remove the combustion out of the
Right.
you know the math. But excuse
That
me,
was, by the way,
Father Jack is going to be missed, at least by us old folks that
Mhm.
knew him.
2013 was the year for that video.
Yes,
March 2013.
and we're still using his talking points today.
And when I say, well, no, it's not addictive, and people look at me like you're crazy, you can literally now get that link. You can literally send it to the person that thinks you're insane, and you can say, listen to this man. Being a priest is a side point to it.
He's a professor.
I was going to say he's a professional. He's done it all. He did it all his life.
He's a doctor, Jack
Heartwarming.
Kearney, PhD.
Yeah. So
and
I think it was probably Ed that threw me the video on Twitter. It was forever ago now, but yeah, that was one of the first videos I ever was like, wow, this guy's smart, because I didn't understand it that way, So, and he even questions the smoking part of the addiction. So that gave me another light bulb.
I mean, the one thing, the negative. Here's the thing about smoking. We talk about it on the show. You are so in love with nicotine through smoking that we've talked about skipping meals.
Oh yes. Oh God, yeah.
I would never say this, but I know people that would borrow money out of mom's purse to go buy cigarettes.
I just stole my dad's
when I was a kid.
Third, second, first.
So,
I stole butts out of my dad's damn ashtray. So, it'll be all right. And if you didn't, then you didn't. That's great.
We will lie to the people that we love. If you've ever watched my vape story, you'll get that one. I promised my wife I would quit smoking. And I said, as soon as I'm done with these cigarettes, these 2 cartons of cigarettes, I will quit. But then when she wasn't looking, I would add extra packs to the box. So if those are not actions of an addict, I don't know what they are.
Dave's given that story. His brother passed. He said he was going to quit. He'd go run out. We just heard that from, I forget who it was already. Today,
Steve would talk about getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Steve did it. My dad said he quit, and he asked me to go out to his trunk of his work vehicle and get a tool out of his trunk. And I did. And I walked back in and I said, I see what you got there. And he says, don't tell your mother. Just don't tell your mother. Because that was a very hard, long struggle with him. But anyway, and Abdul, you are correct. They add ingredients. Yes, they do. To enhance. They say the wording is exactly this: to enhance the properties of nicotine.
Yes.
To increase.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
so if it's addictive on its own, Patrick, why did they have to enhance it?
I don't know if Abdul knows this or not, but the U.S. government specifically allows a certain threshold of MAOIs.
They like those, yeah. Oh, you want that in there? Sure, we can do that. That's good. Oh, yeah.
Give me a second here. I gotta retype it. I mispronounced or mistyped MAOI.
I can't pronounce it.
So, there's an actual. Here we go. Let me see. So I'll go ahead. This is something we've mentioned on the show quite a few times. Now, MAOIs are antidepressants,
among other things.
So, damn it. Okay, so I have to look on this screen for a second. My screen over here blanks out and it goes to sleep and won't wake up again right in the middle of doing something, and I have to unplug it and replug it back in. Okay, so tobacco addiction is the most significantly preventable cause of morbidity and mortality in the Western world, with over 430,000 deaths annually from tobacco-related disease in the United States. While effective treatments are available for smoking cessation, nicotine replacement therapies, sustained release. These are both Chantix and Wellbutrin. They do not work for all smokers. Thus, the development of more effective medications for smoking cessation, blah, blah, blah. So this goes into talking about how there are MAOIs in combustible cigarettes that make the other methods less effective.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
the MAOIs are already present, and those are little chemicals that float around in your body.
Yep.
And back as far back as here's another link. I'll share the screen again.
Mm-hmm.
This is from July 1 of 1998.
They know. I know they know. You know
So
they
nicotine may not be the only psychoactive component of tobacco smoke, according to a study funded in part by NIDA, using positron emission tomography and advanced neuroimagery, blah, blah, blah. We found that MAO levels are increased substantially. Look at these. Look at how they're lit up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So you really think it's the nicotine hitting the kid's brain?
Yeah.
You think it's everything?
So,
Did you know, Patrick, just for this is trivia, did you know there's sugar in cigarettes?
Yes.
Okay, good. Did you know that sugar can be allegedly addictive?
Dependent.
Okay. Either way, do you think that
we just watched a video, man?
If you combined the gazillion things that are in a cigarette, that you can narrow it down to one ingredient that's less in volume than sugars and all the other ingredients than nicotine? Do you really believe that they can narrow it down to one specific chemical to say that's the problem? Really? You're a smart fucking guy.
They can if they're going to be an ideological, if they're doing, a blind ideological pathway.
Right in the eye.
It doesn't, nicotine. So it's easy to target nicotine because it's in quite high levels compared to other things that have nicotine in it. So nicotine does exist in other ways, regardless of what Tahir Turk says, because he says that nicotine does not exist in anything other than tobacco, which we know is not true.
But why is
it is in other plants? It is in some vegetables. It is in other things, but at levels minuscule compared to what it is in tobacco. Right. So tobacco. Here's the thing, Kevin. Tobacco is an American thing.
Mm-hmm.
When the Europeans got to America, the people that were here first were using nicotine. We're smoking tobacco, and the American or the European colonists got here, and they're like, "Hey, those native people over there, they're rolling this stuff up and putting it in a pipe, and they're smoking it. We should do that too. That looks cool."
The early days of peer pressure.
So then once they got here and they saw that people were burning this, they're like, well, kind of, Hennig in one of the video clips says, if something had happened and nature had changed, and instead of tea falling in the boiling water and making tea, if the tobacco leaf had fallen into the boiling pot of water, we would be anti-caffeine now.
That's correct.
And people would be drinking nicotine, tea instead of tea.
Yeah. Highlight Bruni's comment from YouTube if you can.
With this one?
I think that's a great thought right there. That is a great.
What kind of scan?
The brain scan.
You're talking about looking for the MAOIs?
Yeah, on the brain. That would
be seeing how if it lights up any differently.
Yeah. Good on you, Bruni. That's a great point. I don't know who could do it, but yeah.
Well, I could read it if somebody would do the scans.
So when I was doing my research on the nicotine addiction thing
I
and the
just can't
challenge,
order. I just can't order things.
you can't order.
You know,
You're
insurance
important.
doesn't pay for MRIs if I write the order for it.
Important, but not important enough. So when I was writing the challenge, I had a Twitter, and I don't know it offhand in my head for the archive. A guy sent me a chart of the ingredients by percentage. Nicotine's like 17 on the list. It's not even number one. It's nowhere near number one in volume, weight volume. So that was part of the little journey I was on for that at the time. But yeah, the nicotine is a scapegoat for everything else, is my opinion.
Well, it's an easy target, and it gives them something to fight.
It's a scary word, nicotine, right?
Nicotinic acid or niacin.
Huh? What? But Eliana, explain that to me. So I said
video.
I asked the fucking question because
There's
they
a
wanted
video.
to hide it. Yeah, there's a fucking video. It's the same fucking thing. Vitamin B3, niacin. Ed and I have done that on Twitter.
I have a video.
Scares me. It scares the shit out of me that people would lie. Except
I have one here. So this molecule of nicotine, actually, this is easier. When this molecule, it needs to be processed by the environment or even in our bodies, you transform this molecule into something we call nicotinic acid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so nicotinic acid is pretty much like this molecule breaking in two. And nicotinic acid actually you can make vitamin B3 out of it. Okay.
Nobody wants to talk about vitamin B3.
Yeah. So, which is not necessarily that different. But I mean, it's intermolecularly speaking, I don't really understand that process of conversion into something from something to something. But nicotinamide, the name nicotine, it doesn't mean it comes from nicotine. Okay, it doesn't mean that nicotinamide comes from nicotine, but it has a structure that is similar and actually a product that comes out of like this part. So let me just show you something. So what actually happened, and actually this is real data that you guys can find out. This is nicotine, okay? So I'm just going to double check if you guys have seen. So this is nicotine. In our bodies, it's being oxidized by intermolecular mechanisms. What happens is this. This part is split in two. And now, this part here is the very famous niacin, which is actually vitamin B3. Just go check. I mean, obviously, you need to oxidize this part. This end here, it becomes a carboxylic acid. So it becomes, and that.
We have some great guests on our show.
Two things. Number one, Bill's in the room. Hello, Bill.
Yes, hello, Bill.
Two, has anybody else had science like this on their show? No, I think not. I think we should win.
We are the best.
Niacin, B3, nicotine. It's all interconnected. And nicotine is the scapegoat.
Nobody is better than us, Kevin.
Well, I am a little biased. I don't like you, but I do like me. It's the molecule thing in me holding up the research side. I'm laughing at myself.
I heard you.
Look at the chucklehead. That was such a great show.
That was a great show. And she stayed the whole time. And I bet you I could probably get her back on for the CAFRA show.
Why not? Heart.
She is kind of busy now that she's like working with the UN as a human rights person.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably really busy.
And we knew her when, right? Is that the word?
When she was just a really smart pharmacist that spoke like 9 languages. Now she's a really smart pharmacist that speaks 9 languages, that is a human rights ambassador to the UN.
And talked to us once. Either way, look at that.
But I did share that clip on the Twitters like last week.
I got 2 words. Science
and
bitches.
she retweeted it.
Did she? Science bitches. That's all I know.
So we drink a lot. Well, actually, we've been pretty good.
Yeah, you've been
recently.
pretty good. I've just
been really good.
I'm
I've been drinking
caffeinated.
coffee.
I like coffee. Oh,
We've been really good and haven't been embarrassingly drunk on the show in a while.
we've only been
6
picking on
months.
Skip. Honestly, it's just been Skip.
And
That's we've
it's
focused.
because Skip brings it upon herself. She's doesn't admit that I invited her on the show. Says that I didn't, even though I did.
If something about
That she
if, I don't know.
didn't decline to be on the show.
Big Bill.
Bill hasn't been on in a while.
Sir Didymus, what is it you're looking up, sir?
What's he looking that up for?
Damn fine coffee. Exactly.
Damn fine. That's a great TV show.
Damn fine.
That's from Twin Peaks.
Nobody cares about my caffeine at all. Not one person has ever said stop that. Because they know better.
Stop that, Kevin.
You fuck off. Who the fuck are you to tell me to stop?
Stop it, Kevin. I'm your Friday night employer that doesn't pay you anything.
I'm trying to be your friend. I'm trying to
I
help
did buy you a microphone, though.
You did?
And I did
What you said.
indirectly get you a second monitor.
Tobacco was found in... Yes.
Even though I really didn't do anything.
The Victor share screen.
It is Victor, but...
It's Victor's share screen.
Victor.
So we talked about Dick. We talked about hashtag tobacco control math. We talked about Skip being older.
You're
aged.
She's gonna stab you one of these days.
She's not old. She's age. She's age challenged. Jeffrey, yes.
She's finally steeped.
Jeffrey said Alinea rocks. She helped me a lot with a technical norm that some people were trying to impose on vaping here in Costa Rica. So yeah. She's
I want to go to Costa Rica.
You want to go to Costa Rica?
Yeah, I want to go to Costa Rica.
Don't let nothing but a plane ride stop you.
Yeah, but if I go out of the country and I come back, since I work in healthcare, I have to wait like 30 days after I get back.
Skip's 21, not 29, 21.
Times 4.
Well, there's Patrick control math. 30 times 4. Oh,
I can't believe you made me say that, Kevin.
Yeah, that's what happened. She's probably not going to like you very much.
That's all right. Nobody does.
No, not really.
Nobody does. Here, I'll even prove it, Kevin. I had this open on my screen already.
You get an effing man. I wonder why you had that open on your screen. I don't want to know. Just let me wonder. It's more fun that way. You have an effing math.
I was preparing to, sell T-shirts again real quick.
Well, I've done a study and I found that 340% of tobacco control experts and like 140% of experts, and then like 400% of public health experts lie. That's my latest math. Mm-hmm.
There's the Walk the Plank T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the... Ooh, what?
What was the Skip? What
We
was
have the
the
nicotine enhanced T-shirt.
I love that. What was the Raja Science hashtag this week? I was out of a loop for a little while this week.
That was where he said that there's no science that shows that vaping actually has ever helped anybody quit smoking.
Yeah. And then we hashtagged his ass. We being you, they.
They did. I didn't. And this is the shirt that I'm wearing right now. The Scallywag tee.
Yep.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
So go to the Son of Liberty Radio Teespring store and help me buy whiskey.
Science for Raja. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because he's an asshole.
I need a new bottle of whiskey.
All right. So they're telling you what they want you to know. We're telling you what you need to know. That's my thing.
So as we get closer to the first week in November, when we're doing the CAFRA live stream for 5 days, we'll get more details as to where those shows will actually go. Because apparently they're using a third-party production company to direct or to produce the show. So we're going to use the platform that we're already used to, but I don't know if it will be going to my YouTube or their. Well, I'm sure it'll go to their YouTube. But I'm going to talk to them because if they're only using YouTube, then I'm going to use the other two platforms.
Yeah. And people are invited to participate.
Yes. Anybody that wants to come on and participate in a panel talking about neurodiversity and nicotine, we will be picking one of those evenings, and we will schedule in advance so that everybody that wants to participate can participate. It will be 9 o'clock Eastern time, from 9 to 10 Eastern time for those 5 days, starting on Sunday. And then the Friday night show will be at normal time on our channel, which is the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
No. It's an hour earlier, Kevin. Because it's 10 p.m. Eastern for you normally.
Yeah.
So, yes, Jeffrey. One of the nights, actually, so during the COP9, CAFRA, we're working with CAFRA to do a 5-day, 24-hour stream to compete with CAFRA or to compete with COP9. So we are going to have international advocates. I shouldn't say we because they invited me. They are going to have international advocates in their zone. But I think CASA is probably going to participate. I know that INCO is participating. And we're going to be broadcasting 5 days, 24 hours a day. Whether it is live programming or pre-recorded programming, 1 hour slots. So if you want to do something with us, let me know and we'll figure out a way to get you in. You could hang out with us for one of those hours. I think Costa Rica is probably in my same time zone.
You got to bring your own booze.
Yes, bring your own booze. Definitely.
I just put their website in, and now I'm putting in their Twitter.
You can participate with INCO, and you can come hang out with us, Jeff. It's you're welcome.
Double bill. Yeah. So when I saw Skip, and we talked about this last week, when I saw Skip opening up on Twitter, threading just amazing things about her personal things, I encourage that kind of thing. I don't encourage people to demean or fuck with people that are doing it. I encourage people to read it, learn it, understand it. You might see a little of yourself in it, and you can grow as a person, as a human, and you can learn things that you may
I don't
not
want
have
to grow
known.
anymore. I'm already pretty big. I don't want to grow anymore, Kevin.
You know what I mean. So if others do that, and the neurodiversity thing is a thing, I didn't know it was a thing. So I didn't know.
Even when we talked about neurodiversity with Charles, it's always existed, but it's never been labeled.
Right.
Well,
it's been mislabeled probably more than it's been.
I mean, obviously, we talked about ADHD being a relatively new medical diagnosis, even though it's been around since the late 1800s. Right. In the literature. Right. So, it's just one of those things that's been stigmatized. I mean,
that
mental illness,
that
instead of it being labeled something that's not. So when you say mental illness, that is a disease. That is something to feel sorry for people for. If you talk to somebody with autism, they don't know that there's something wrong with them. They think that they're, and they're happy with the way they are. If obviously people that are schizophrenic, what I'm talking about, Kevin.
Yeah.
They are aware that the world doesn't work the way they think it should work and the way they want it to work. But they shouldn't be treated like they're, we always talk about othering people. We always talk about demeaning, stigmatizing, and attacking people because we're very tribal people and we don't like things that are different than us.
Yep. And you can't. Something I learned both with the wife and my son. You can't see brain problems. You can't see there's a broken or missing arm or there's something physically going on with someone when it's unseen. So then it's a fear because that's what you've been told all your life. Well, they're crazy or they're whatever the word stigmatizing those things are. What becomes what?
Being that I spent a good bit of my time in New Orleans in my formative years, most families had an eccentric uncle or aunt that was just a little off, and in some places they hit her and or him. In New Orleans we trot out all of our eccentrics. That's a little different. So I fit in way better there than I ever have anywhere else.
Yeah. But how can you, to my son's point was he didn't like the idea that he had to have medicine. And the way I explained it to him was you have an illness, you just can't see it. It's not as easily explained. And people do what they do and say, well, you're crazy. It's just pigeonholing somebody into that word or a few words where it's demeaning. And it's a very serious thing. With the wife and the Alzheimer's, you can't see that either. And sometimes you can't tell it either. You probably talk to people that you specifically talk to people daily who have it and don't know it, and you don't necessarily see it. You probably are more keyed into it, but it's not easy to find or get or understand. So when
people with mental differences, the neurodiversity, people, whether that and that could be what you're talking about, could be schizoaffective, that could be Alzheimer's, dementia. It's really difficult for people that spend a lot of time with somebody to key on things because most people, whether they have something or not, are pretty much stuck in a routine.
Right.
And as long as you're in that routine, you're riding along on your train track.
Yes.
It's hard to see anything. But then something happens and they're no longer able to stay in their routine. That's when differences start showing up. That's when people that have mild dementia at home, when they're in a care facility, when they're with me and they're in rehab, or if they're not at home and they no longer can get up at the same time every day and get up and go to the dresser where is the same place every day and find their socks and their underwear and their clothes.
Yeah.
When they're in a different place and everything is not in the same place.
Environmental. Yeah.
And they are no longer able to stick to a routine. That is when we have problems.
Yeah.
My wife comes into this office, which looks like something exploded in here right now. And I know where everything is.
Yes, correct. Yeah. That's me.
And if
controlled chaos to you, right?
If somebody messes my shit up, like my wife doesn't come in here anymore.
Right.
Like unless I'm in here. Because she knows I will know if she's moved something a quarter of an inch. And she'll look at a pile of shit and go, there's like 800 things there. How do you know I moved that thing a quarter of an inch? I know.
Because I know. Yeah, I do that too.
And, you know, Bill, I wasn't going to mention Bill, but Bill, you know, he's diagnosed autistic and he has a wonderful way of existing.
Yes.
And is able to do great things. You know, he worked in movies and TV and he's written a book and, you know, he
wears a cape.
Exceptional. And, you know, most people wouldn't know.
Yeah. And
a lot of people that, you know, have social anxiety problems and things like that. Can't do groups, can't, you know, can't be put on the spot, don't want to be in front of a camera, don't want to be in a place where people are going to look and watch them, you know. It took me a long time to get used to this.
Yeah, I'm not fond of it.
I could do this without the camera, you know. Yeah. For years we did the audio podcast because I didn't want to be in front of a camera.
I feel the exact same way, the purpose is much more important than my feelings. So
even though I knew that this was fine, it did take me a while.
It's unnerving. Yeah, it can be unnerving.
So, I mean, now I have to remember to look at the camera now,
right?
Because I'm always looking here or here. You know, that it doesn't feel like you're watching me because I'm not seeing you watching.
You can't see it, yeah.
You know,
and I'm not very pretty to look at either.
That's true.
That's okay. I don't care. Doesn't matter. I can't imagine anybody's tuning in for our looks.
No. Hey, Bill, I got Galaxy of Terror. I'm gonna watch that.
Stop it.
Well, he's like, you know, he's a nerd. He's like me. We like science fiction stuff. But he's mostly like a Godzilla. And
stop stigmatizing him.
I'm not stigmatizing him. I love him. He's awesome.
Nerd.
I'm a nerd.
Night, Skip. Night, Richard.
Yeah. Everybody's leaving, Kevin. So
we do this because we love you and ourselves at times.
I love myself better than anybody else does.
Just not each other.
Repeatedly.
Stop.
I got that one in Battle Beyond the Stars. It's another really good one. I'm considering getting them. It's about giant ants.
So yeah, Caffer's coming up. What is it? 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
It's the first week.
4 weeks.
It's actually called Scope because Cop.
Yeah, same time. Yeah.
So it's going to run concurrently with Cop since they have blocked us. So we're hoping, and I'm assuming, I believe they're working really hard to get media. Like since the media can't get into Cop, they might as well pay attention to what we're doing. So they're working with like ad agency or something to get people
good,
you know, to get the media to and you know, there's going to be like
Hashtags.
Right. There's going to be periods where people can like have Q&As and things like that in response to if anything comes out of COP, like if they make an announcement or if they do a summary or whatever.
That's a picture of Bill.
Bill doesn't have a beard like that. He's not white-haired.
I want people to hijack hashtags for every
we're going to do that.
Fucking thing they got. We do it every time. If you're on Twitter, do it. If you're not on Twitter, get on Twitter and then do it. That's what my request is. Do it.
Well, that's one thing that we do really good.
Oh, we can fuck up.
We have historically been pretty good at hashtag stealing and repurposing. So
there's no hashtag they can come up with that we can't.
But see, I don't know that COP is going to do that because
I don't know.
They don't allow any media in, and it's sort of hush hush what they're going to talk about. And they've already announced that the materials about tobacco harm reduction will be distributed at this event, but there will be no discussion until the next one, which is 2 years away.
They're going to delay less harmful alternatives for
they
2
said,
years.
We're going to give you the information to look over for 2 years.
Do it.
And then we might talk about it in 2 years.
If we find it important enough to do.
Bill, I've heard that Squid Party is pretty good. I think it's called Squid Party on Netflix. It's a Korean game show in a dystopian. So we're having two conversations here.
That's all right.
Yeah. So Kev, I guess we've been on for 3.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
What is our takeaway this week?
I want everybody to think twice before they speak and tweet, and I want it to be harsh and on the money every single time, and show your work. Make them show their work. When Truth came out with their mental whatever problems and depression and all that, and we didn't even go into that really, but the depression stick pisses me the fuck off. So they in their own website have, and we've shown it 100 times. I've got the memes and all that good shit and the links that nicotine helps people with. Yeah. So when I'm tagging them in their tweet saying that, I keep thinking that it causes something, and then I show their own tweet. I think Amanda had one. I know a few others did. I want those people underneath that to see what they have on their sites. That's the truth. If you should, like we said earlier with Zeller, you've said it. Your head has said this. So that's the takeaway. Stop, pick your battles. Stop being distracted as much as possible, and focus on what they're saying and what you know. Go to Charles and find his thread of 60-something, 70-something. Go to the Nicotine Wiki and there's 70 plus. What are you grinning about?
Somebody just retweeted a tweet that I forgot about.
Oh, okay. I love when that happens. So they're lying. They're long out of ideas. They're rehashing the same shit. They just have a whole lot more people doing it than we do. So you got to hit them where they've lied, specifically when their name is Truth. So that's my thoughts.
So speaking of hitting them where they've lied.
Good. Is this an old one?
No, this is from just the other day. But I forgot about it and somebody just retweeted it. So it tied into what you just said. So this is my tweet. If the criteria for government intervention is found to harm kids, you should be surrounded by cops with cuffs, Mike Bloomberg. Your holier than thou prohibitionist, blind to science, anti-vaping ideology is just one of the many harmful things you've used your money to force onto the world.
Yes.
So that was in response to his tweet where he says that the FDA blew past a court-ordered deadline to shut down sales of flavored e-cigarettes if they are found to harm kids, which they clearly do, according to him. and the delay. Remember, I said about watching for those words or terminology about delay in an FDA.
Yeah.
Bam, there it is, right there.
Yeah.
So we have to keep in mind that there is a secret agenda.
Yeah.
Whether you want to believe it or not, these people are working together to destroy
anything and everything.
A product
except
that helps people. They are working to so here's the thing. Vape companies have gone into this long, expensive, arduous, painful process,
time-consuming process
to apply for government permission for them to save someone's life.
Yeah.
Literally, they're begging the government, please, sir, can I save somebody's life today?
Yes, mother, may I have another?
And
fuck.
And the government has, the FDA, that is essentially what the FDA has done with this sort of blanket. And I predicted it was going to happen. I said, this is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to find one flaw that they know that exists in every one of these applications, and they're going to kick all of them for one flaw. And they actually did it in such a dirty fucking way, because the flaw they found, the reason, this is the stupid part, Kevin. The stupid part is they could have rejected all of these PMTAs already because none of them were complete. None of them were complete, Kevin. None of these, well, not, I shouldn't say none. A huge percentage of them didn't have the HPHCs, so they could have kicked a big chunk of them because they didn't submit HPHC testing. A bunch, literally, they could have found any excuse in the world. And then what did they do? According to this lawsuit, they invented a new way. They said, you didn't submit this thing that we told you didn't need. That's what they did. There were so many other ways they could have rejected these PMTAs that wouldn't have caused this much hoo-ha.
Yeah.
And they fucked it up because they invented a way to boot them based on the fact that they told these companies, you don't need to do this thing. Oh, well, you didn't do that thing that we told you not to do.
That's right.
So anyway, what I want to say is, you know what? All you people that are flying the pirate, all you vapors that are vaping that need stuff to vape, go buy stuff.
Yeah.
Support these people. You're going to need e-liquid anyway. So go and buy stuff. If there's an e-liquid that you like that you can still order online somewhere, order it. If there's an e-liquid you like and your local vape shop has it, go buy it. FDA has decided to play this sort of weird reindeer game. You know what? Let's play it too. We're going to keep buying it as long as it's on the shelf, and we're going to support these businesses. You're going to write them a fucking warning letter? Go ahead.
Yep.
We need to keep, our eyes on the prize here and support these people that are still trying to save lives for as long as we can.
Yep.
So if that means going and buying 5 ponds, or if you can find right vapes, in 12 milligram VCT, vanilla custard tobacco, buy every bottle they got and send it to me. 'Cause I like it. So yeah, just remember that we're on the right side of history, and regardless of whether we win tomorrow or the day after tomorrow or 10 years from now, we're right and they're wrong, and eventually history is going to show that they killed people.
They
destroyed lives.
Demi show, multiple blogs, including Nicotine Wiki. These things are. My grandson is going to go, what? Really? Why? Well, here's why. We already know. There's history. It's not going away. Not as long as I'm breathing. You can kiss my ass. As long as I'm breathing, it's going to be
You know,
known.
Even if I'm done breathing, I'm going to come back and haunt FDA. I'm going to be the vapor ghost that walks up and down the aisle of FDA.
Hello, Mr. Zeller.
I want my nicotine. Give me my nicotine. You killed me because you took my nicotine. That's actually going to be a really scary short story. I'm going to write a ghost story about haunting the FDA.
I don't know how they sleep. I really don't.
Oh, they have pills. It's FDA.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're FDA approved. So cigarettes are safe, folks, until further notice.
They're they have access to the best drugs money can buy. So yeah, they're not worried. They don't need to have a conscience. They have drugs.
Speaking of pigeonholing, I've heard people in the health industry are the biggest addicts. I've heard that. And I just thought, well, that's a weird thing to say.
Did I?
Yeah, I never looked it up, but yeah.
No, I don't. Sometimes Andrew Osborne posts stuff that's a joke. And I could have sworn I saw a sign on Andrew Osborne's Facebook when I was scrolling, because I don't post on Facebook, but I still look at Facebook sometimes. That said they were going out of business. Andrew Osborne in New York. And I don't know if it was a serious or if it was just a joke. He's one of those people, it's hard to tell. But there are tons of people that are losing their futures because of this. And
yes,
that's the people that smoke that won't be able to find vape because there's not going to be anything to buy except the shit at the convenience store that tastes like ass. And the people that are losing their futures that are in this industry that started a business just to save people's lives, or because their little girl said, "Dad, why do you want to die?"
Matt's, yeah. Steven. Yeah.
It is discouraging, and it makes me mad. And when you make me mad, you're just you're gonna get it. And so we're gonna keep doing what we do. Love you guys. Enjoy your weekend. Go find your significant other, your partner, your life partner, Kevin. Give him a big wet one.
In Tennessee.
Take a nap, get up, go to work, skip. And if you guys think about it this weekend, get on Twitter, share those videos that I've been posting. Enjoy yourself, because we've got all this fight that we still have to do, and you guys need to be rested and charged up, because it's going to get even more exciting in the coming days. So be good, stay out of trouble, and we'll see you in 7 days. Bye.
People that bring it in, it's much more dangerous, it's much more risky, but that's what they're being forced to do. And the thing is, if you don't have a prescription after the 1st of October, there is a fine of up to $222,000 for bringing nicotine through customs.